Oh. What is up, Nope. Oh, you can hear me. Hello, everyone. I'm seeing double. So they changed. Welcome to another edition of AOS Trash Pandas. I'm your host, Rob, and with me as usual is my co-host, Carson. How's it going, Carson?
Going pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You're not seeing double on the stream, are you?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, you're all
okay.
Good. Yep.
It still is showing me that it's like double, and I don't know how to get it back. They changed the layout of Streamlabs, and now I don't know how to just do basic things anymore, as it turns out. But that's okay. I hope everyone's having a great night. Tonight we are talking about cake or possibly death. Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Maybe a little bit of both. Indeed.
Yep.
But first, Carson.
I see Madeline's in the chat saying this is not Madeline, and I'm very confused. I assume that means it's Mr. Beasley. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I like it. What up, Pat, Keith, Age of Canucks? Appreciate you guys. And not Madeline. We like having you here. Did you see the rumor engine?
Okay. I did. It is a horse's leg.
Probably. I was leaning towards like a demon, like a demon's, like, hooved leg of some kind. But it is angled kind of weird for that. So I think you won me over. I think it's some kind of, if not a horse, like some kind of like wolf, or, you know what I mean? Like something on all fours. It's weird that they cut out the foot. If it's like let's just say that this is a horse, right? They should have showed the hoof. It's more interesting. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, this is a horse, but what is it for? But
yeah, this is encroaching on like too vague territory for
it's
sure.
It's too vague.
Like, this could even be 40K. Like,
yeah, it could be 40K. It could be like a
horse of some kind.
Yeah, an Astra Militarum Deuter or whatever. Or yeah, I don't know. This is just disappointing. But Carson, I think your exposition means you did not, in fact, read the text.
I did not. No.
So it says, yes, it's currently attached to some kind of animal, probably, but it could conceivably become food one day. Just ask the ogres. That adds a little bit more excitement to this, right? Like, they're probably effing with us, but like, there's got to be a re-release for ogres coming. Like, they're gonna ship them over to the old world, and all the old kits are gonna, be in an Age of Sigmar thing, and like, they're gonna get this amazing refresh. I can feel it in my bones of the bone soup my wife made. But what? Like, are they messing with us? That's the question.
Don't do this to BGW.
Yeah, I know.
Don't dangle this in front of me. But I mean, like, I don't think this is related to ogres necessarily, but
it might not.
It does make me think that it's AOS instead, because they're referencing AOS in some way.
Right.
I saw a couple people linking like. I've seen like a couple guesses out there. Number one was they were thinking there's the Taurus monster, whatever it is, for Chaos Dwarves.
Okay.
I know Total War.
I think that's a bit of a stretch, because like we're just seeing like a knee hind leg kind of combo here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's I think it was Dale that showed the. He literally just linked it. It was a picture of Daughters of Cain. I think it's Daughters of Cain, where there's like that like little lion dog thing. Here, I'll send you the picture actually, and we'll steal Dale's idea here.
Okay, I'm all for stealing things from Dale.
I think it's an Underworld's warband.
Ooh, I would like that. Oh, interesting. The Kurnothi one. Yeah. Okay. Let me see.
Oh,
if
was
I
it
can...
Kurnothi? Okay, my bad.
Yeah, it is Kurnothi. I remember because like I like them so much. Like I just love everything to do with Kurnothi. They're basically like AOS wood elves, for those that don't know. That would be sick. The knee looks more rounded. It is looking pretty horsey overall, though. A horse, of course. Okay, I was going to throw out something a little bit more up your alley. In what if it's a Frost Saber resculpt? Because, like, we're surely going to get something along those lines, right? If not a Frost Saber, like whatever the new Frost Saber is going to be.
I don't think so. This looks too much like a horse, I think. I mean, I guess it could be a wolf. But
I felt like the knee is like too weirdly flat, or is that just something that they had to like cut out of the picture? Is that like a Photoshop thing? Or is it a weird flat?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't know. But we have lots to talk about. We'll move on from that. But first, before we move on from all this amazingness, thank you to everyone for joining us. We did a live stream. Check it out. It's under the live tab, if you guys didn't check it out. It was a fantastic game between Justin and Carson here. It was a barn burner. I don't want to give anything away. It goes down to the final battle round. Amazing stuff. I was having so much fun and I was so entertained that I wasn't always even paying attention. A certain someone was distracting me, but like it was so much fun. It was a really fun and funny battle report. Justin did an amazing job in his first time ever live on stream, and he had a great time. And Carson was hilarious, and the play was really good too. But something special happened. Ludivicus, I don't know how long you've been a member of our community. It's been so long. Like, it might have been when Dale was still hosting this podcast with me. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Okay. I know he's been around since when you like started-ish, Carson. So like, it's gotta be at least 2 years. Never had a sub donation or whatever you call it, a membership donation that went to him in all this time. Hundreds and hundreds of donations happened. And last week he got sniped for the first time ever. Like, you guys don't even understand. Like, we were suspecting that he had turned them off. Like, he wasn't allowing them. And it was some kind of meme. And then it happened. Pat, actually, he put something down. Pat, fear not, for you are all in the presence of Patagus Ratigan, the legendary Sasquatch hunter, slayer of the great Ludivicus. A Giselle shot, if you will. Anyway, it was a really great
one too.
What do you mean?
It was the first one. He donated 10. The very first name was Ludivicus. He just
That's true. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it was the very first. Yeah, he was number one on the hit squad there. It was really awesome. It was a really fun moment. Kenrick and I meant to say to you after the stream, like, oh man, it would make a great short. Probably. Like, we don't know until we see it. But yeah, check out the battle report if you guys are into that kind of thing. It was a really fun moment. So yeah, check that out. New Battle Cattle, says Asri. I mean, like, that is actually a possibility that we didn't talk about. Going back to the Rim Engine real quick, like some kind of new Beast of Chaos. That would be sick, although I think people would be really pissed if they were just like, they're gone. And then we're like, oops, just kidding. Like, we're bringing back something way more awesome. Oh, whatever. I don't know. All those models should be in the old world. I don't know. I'm kind of down for that too. But my favorite, like, I love Wood Elves. I really, really love Wood Elves. One of my favorite old world armies. So if they bring them properly into Age of Sigmar, I will poo myself, because it will mean dire things for me. It isn't chubby-legged enough to be a Chorf centaur. Ludivicus, the man in question there, is making a great point. To honk for cat is definitely ungulate. What? Oh, two-legged ungulate. Right. Not a three-toed ungulate. Yeah. But for those that don't know, an ungulate is an animal with a four-chambered stomach. It's true. It's like a moose, an elk, a caribou. So, yeah. Anyway. So tonight, do we have anything else to go over? There hasn't really been any proper news. Oh, I almost forgot. I didn't get a chance to put it in the description, but today, our good friend Dan Say and his crew released the first episode of Odd Void. It's a 40K themed like D&D thing. It's really funny. It's excellent. I watched the first episode and I'm going to keep watching the second. Like, it was so good that I didn't listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl 7, which just came out today. Like, I listened to the little blurb at the start because I couldn't help myself and I wasn't able to watch YouTube at the time. But like, I watched that instead of listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it's like Dungeon Crawler Carl is like my favorite thing, and it just came out today. So it's really, really good. Odd Void. You can type in Odd Void 40K. The first episode came out today. The second episode also came out today, I think, and then the third episode comes out in like a week from now. But anyway, really good. And this just in, Carson, Dan is doing the show next week, and we're going to do a Saga of Dice takeover of the podcast for Odd Void next week. So you guys heard it here first. Okay. It's really funny, really good. And Peachy did a conversion of Jamila's model, and it is like I did confirm it's Annika from Soulblight Gravelords or whatever, but it looks amazing. Anyway, okay, I'll stop gushing about that show. This week, we are talking about that. Cake or Death. Is it on a white background for you? No, right?
No. Yeah.
Why isn't it working? It ate through the extension that you told me about and dark mode, all of it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but
I think that extension might have actually been removed from Google. I think I got a notification about that. So you might not even have it anymore.
It's on here. It's listed, but it says remove from Chrome. Anyway, sorry everyone if it's kind of white. Oh, it's a white background for you too, Alex. Well, but Carson sent me this extension. Oh,
like on the stream, it appears white. Also, my camera is for some reason. But anyway,
it just does that.
Yeah, maybe we can. I'll do like a little bit of an overview of like what Cake or Death is.
That would be great.
Oh, thank you, Justin. That's super kind.
Thank you so much.
Justin says, "Well, good evening, you beautiful bastards. I'll read it out because he paid us." Yep.
Yeah, I will read it out because I am contractually obligated. Oh. And one last thing, we added a subscription membership goal to the stream. It's super small for me because everything's small because there's two of them on here now. But we are saving up to get what do you call it?
Yeah, we're saving to get some lavalier
proper,
mics, essentially
nice
like
ones.
ones.
Yeah.
Just because we've been doing so basically before we started, we had lavalier mics already, and we actually still have Rob's old ones, and we're probably going to try and use them next stream.
Yeah.
But we'd like to get some like really nice, crisp quality ones. So I actually reached out to Season of War to see what they were using, because surely they would have a reliable, good quality microphone, because their battle reports are amazingly produced. And he recommended us a really good pair that we're kind of saving up for now. So that membership goal is basically whenever you gift subs, those are just going to go towards the bucket of money that we're going to be putting towards those lav mics. We we've been trying the wired microphones in hand, and it's just a little bit too clunky. And a couple people have noticed that, like, especially if we do our movement phase, it's a little bit tough to kind of keep interacting with people. So back to the live mics we go, and yeah,
we're gonna try it, and then. Like the main issue with the ones I have, because the nice thing that on the old ones that I have, like they were not cheap mics at all. They were like about the same price as the Rode ones we were looking at, but they no longer last. Like the battery life on them isn't as good as when I started. They'd last like 7 hours, and it's good because it usually took us like 7 hours to film those things, the regular battery ports. But now they only have to last for a live stream, and those are usually about 2 hours to 3 hours or whatever. Obviously, we have to set things up and make sure everything's working ahead of time. So, but if they run out, then we'll have to go back to the regular plug-in mics or whatever. So, yeah. Anyway, we're still figuring it out, but I've set the goal for March 20th. If for somehow we reach that goal by the 20th of this month, then we'll get them right away. But that seems very unlikely. I'm just letting people know that it's there because we want to improve the quality of the stream as we go forward. And so, yeah. Anyway, back to Cake or Death. Please explain as you said you would a minute ago and then never did because you welched.
Yeah. So Cake or Death is this is the third year that it's happening, I think. It is also definitely the biggest Age of Sigmar tournament that happens in the Vancouver area. It caps out at 70 people. I think we've got 62 people this time just because there are some last minute drops. And I'm pretty sure this is the biggest Age of Sigmar tournament in Western Canada as well, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's anywhere else because I think Five Alarm doesn't get this big, and I don't think Saskatchewan or Alberta are having tournaments as big as this either. So it's
I don't know. They used to have some really big ones in Alberta. Okay. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know more about the tournament scene than I do for sure, but
yeah. Yep, that's fair.
Perhaps our friends in Alberta can let us know. Sorry. Stupid.
Yeah.
Delay. Please.
No, it's all good. So Cake or Death is basically like a combination of a Warhammer tournament and a cake contest. Dale, who's in the chat and just called us out, is the organizer for said event. It's held in the Arc'teryx factory cantina, which is kind of cool. If you're into like mountain climbing or camping or anything like that, they make really good
best stuff. Yeah,
probably the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then apparently my connection's all messed up. So Cake or Death is basically like no, I think it's me. My internet's been acting up all day, so if I start cutting out, please let me know.
Cool.
So it's a 5-game GT. It's going to be taking place this upcoming weekend. There's 62 people, lots of competitive players going to be showing up there. You've got Beasley and Matthias and a whole bunch of the Pacific Northwest team. It's going to be pretty crazy. And then the cake contest is on where people can bring cakes that are usually Warhammer themed, and they get both judged by actual judges as well as players. And then the whole theme is that if you get absolutely smoked in your game, at least you have first dibs on cake. So, yay!
That's kind of dope.
And yeah, Dale runs a good tournament every year, and I'm excited to go this weekend.
Nice, awesome. By the way, Dale, we have invited you every year except for this one. And every year you have turned us down, citing that you are too busy in preparation for your tournament. So forgive us if we didn't try you this year, but I actually forgot. My furnace was out all last week, and I'm sorry.
I forgot too. Sorry.
Yeah.
One nice thing as well, we will be announcing the Pacific Northwest Masters team at Cake or Death.
Ooh.
And every single member of the Pacific Northwest Masters team will get the coveted romantic blue rose from me, just like The Bachelor.
What? Are you serious? That's amazing. Oh my God.
Including alternates. So active roster and alternates will both get a blue rose.
They both get a blue rose. Like, will you announce who is active versus who is not? You just don't want to distinguish between getting a certain color of rose so people don't feel bad.
Well, it's not only that, but if you're an alternate player, you are still on the team. Like,
No, I know.
You're going to be coming to practices. You're going to be potentially even going if one of the active roster can't make it. Like, it's still a big deal.
No, I understand. What I'm saying is like, I wasn't sure if you were going to actually be saying like active member and non-active member. So, just checking.
Gotcha. Yeah.
This is the team that won last year, by the way.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest took home North America Masters last year. The inaugural. Is that the correct word? The very first one.
Yep.
Pacific North Masters there ever has been. And we're looking to run it back. It's going to be in Houston this time. And yeah, we'll see.
Have they announced whether or not they're going to keep the same names?
I think they've kind of gotten rid of that. I don't think they care.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's just like based on the regions now. It's like Pacific Northwest, California, Southwest, Texas, and yeah.
Fair.
So
right on. I did like
two
them.
new regions this year.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's the Midwest. Because California and Southwest got split up. It's just California by itself now.
Okay.
And then Southwest is like New
Mexico
and
Arizona,
I think, and then
maybe Colorado.
I'm not sure what else. And then there's the Great Plains. That's the next team, where it's basically kind of like the middle, like above Texas, not the Midwest, and also not Pacific Northwest. Just a big column in the center of the country.
Okay.
Like all the plains.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that.
Awesome.
That's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I wasn't sure if
there's 10 teams now there.
Sorry, the delay is crazy
there's
tonight.
10 teams. Is it? Okay. I bet. Let's just proceed.
Oh man. Sorry guys. Well, yeah, I was just referring to like how we were Shimone, and then I was hoping they were going to change it to Guy Ran or whatever, but it's all good. Like regardless of whether it is, it was just fun to kind of meme on it a bit. Anyway, should we get into some lists? Oh wait, did you explain? Oh, you did explain Kicker Death. Okay, just making sure. Yeah. Dale's too busy. He's gluing horns with Roman and probably sniffing it. So good luck to him. And yeah. Okay. Should I just spin the wheel? By the way, we will be rating your names, people. And I ate a late lunch and I'm super hungry, so I will not be generous. Here we go. Everything's going to the bottom of the can.
Do we want to leave like 15, 20 minutes at the end to go over the remaining names and not actually the lists?
Yes.
Because we're not going to be able to get to all of these lists.
No, absolutely not. Ian Dolinsky, come on down. Ian. Dice Lickers, Aussie Arc Bone Reapers. Oh man, I was hoping Braden was here. Just because if it's a good name. Anyway, okay, here we go. God damn it. That's so good. I think we have a strong tradition of like the first one is usually a good name. It's usually really good. Okay, the list name is Ribbed for Pleasure, and it's Aussie Arc Bone Reapers. Honestly, God dang it.
That's good. Really good.
It's so good. Small critique. If it was like ribbed for your pleasure or something pleasure, like ribbed for pleasure is great. It's really good. I said everything was going in the bottom of the can, but I'm going to say like this is at least upper can. I'm going to actually like reserve it for later. Cause this might be the one of the night.
I think this is upper bin.
Yeah.
With that for sure.
Okay. Alex doesn't get it. He told me to explain. I don't believe that he doesn't get it. If you actually don't get it, I will explain it to you. Like I would have to explain to my son after the stream. Okay.
Yeah.
Jokes are never as funny too when you explain them. Anyway, Aussie Arc Bone Reapers, Carson, go.
All right, this is a very simple list. It's one drop.
Yes.
It's the Cavalos Lance, which just means that the Cavalos Death Riders are going to be making a pre-game move of 6 inches in the deployment phase. So that's before priority is determined. He's got Nagash, 5 Death Riders, a reinforced block of Morghast Harbingers, which are the ones that are on a 4-up save, and they're also a 3d6 charge in both players' turns, which is a little bit scary. They slap super hard. And then the Tyrannic Cohort, which is basically a unit that can deep strike down and can be a screen as well, which is pretty nice. So he's got all 5 units in his one drop, which is pretty nice. And then the shtick here is essentially that Nagash is going to be bringing back those Harbingers after he just whips them at you to kill something. So he's kind of hoping that he throws those Harbingers at you, they kill something important, they die, and then he brings them back with Nagash. And you have to do it all over again.
At full strength. I know most people know that, but 540 points, baby. Roman says, sniffing glue and watching Saga. What is best in life? Yeah, that's even above, like, you know, driving your enemies before you and, you know, hearing the lamentations of their women and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to name a couple things.
Just to name a couple of random, you know, I don't know where the connection is there, but oh, dang it. I should not have put that away. We need to keep that for later. Because there might not be a better list name. Like, that was really good. Really good. Congrats to Ian. My hat's off to you. And I spin that wheel like Technotronic. It does have a lot of ribs. Keith is right. I feel like they have more ribs than normal. Phil Zoshak. My apologies if I'm not saying.
This is John's brother.
Is it? Okay, I was going to say, like...
Yeah.
I almost literally typed in John just now, like, psychosomatically. Okay. I'm expecting a lot from this one. I haven't looked at it yet, but I expect a lot from any brother. Okay. Viridian Vanguard. Oh, man. I said I was going to be harsh. I need some help from the chat.
I'm going to say lower bin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Phil. I said I was going to be harsh.
It's neat, I guess, but it's not... Like, I don't know anything about...
It's clever.
It seems like a... Is it clever?
Right? Isn't that based off of...
You might know more about this than me.
I don't want to put my foot in it. Maybe we don't get the full, you know, whatever. Phil is hotter than John. That is a hot take. I didn't say it. Low bin, but not sludgy. Yeah, I think so. Phil canonically the cooler. Zoshak, what is going on? Like, that's what I was thinking, Alex, but I didn't want to say... Anyway... I feel like, or can you explain this list? Because I don't know. Like, we've hit 2 armies that I have. They're like literally like Slaanesh, Ossiarch, and Fire Slayers. I'm sorry, like I don't, and that's not a shot at anyone's army or anything. They're just the 3 armies that I'm the least interested in. We've now hit 2 out of my 3. So, yeah, I apologize.
Yeah. So, what I do know is that Forge Brethren is the +1 to save while they're wholly within their friendly territory thing for like all of Fire Slayer units. They're on like a 6-up base, but the thing is they're going to be trying to like stack a whole bunch of pluses to save and wards and stuff like that to get defensive bonuses.
Right.
The Auric Runefather, he can slap a little bit. I can't remember what else he does. Let me just look that up real quick, but we'll get back to that. The Battlesmith is
It's going to be the sub-commander.
Yeah, it's the sub-commander so that he can be getting basically +2 inches to move with Field Sergeant. So instead of moving 4 inches base, he's going to be moving 6 inches base.
Right.
Then he's got Vulcan Flame Seekers, which is the Warcry Warband. It's just efficient for what it does. He's got an Auric Rune Master, who is going to be a double chanting priest, I believe. And then with Ashbeard, it's going to be +1 to chant, which is really nice.
Right.
So he also gets like his magmic power tokens or whatever whenever he successfully casts a prayer, and then each of the corresponding runes that happens. So like he could be doing fight first rune for the turn, he could be doing crit mortals, run and charge, or there's like a big pulse of damage is one of the runes as well. And I think there's one more. But basically he adds on like an additional effect to each. Like for instance, the pulse of damage goes from like 10 inches to 16 inches. The run and charge one becomes +1 to run and charge rolls. Yeah. The Grimwrath Berserker is another sub-commander, but
Matt.
describing the character abilities are useless. You can't actually tell.
He's
That's my
not
problem
wrong.
playing in Fire Slayers.
Yeah.
Is I look at the army and I'm like, I'm not going to remember what any of this does. So like,
Yeah.
there's fighty guys, shooty guys, hero guy. That's it. That's my limit. The Berserker Broadaxes are just like, I think that's going to be what, 10 guys? 10 guys because they're reinforced, 2 wounds each. So it's just a lot of attacks and run 1 damage to you. He's basically just like spamming the board with a whole bunch of bodies.
Right.
And then he can be like plus attacks if he's near a damaged hero. There's just like a whole bunch of little tricks. That's the problem too, is that it's like so many things that are not visual. The Auric Runesmiter is another priest. He's got Auric Hearthguard, which I believe are the shooty guys, which are actually pretty potent. It's like 12-inch ranged and they're D3 damage each or something like that. Yeah, and just a whole bunch of Berserker with broadaxes. The Sling Shields will do mortal wounds back to you. And I think that's pretty much it. So it's just a very standard like foot slogging list. He can do a little bit of deep strike shenanigans. And the key thing here is that Alex being like, which one is which, Carson?
We don't know.
I don't know. The key thing is that usually you have like a go turn where you want to go in and just like dumps through a whole bunch of things. He is probably going to recognize that that's the case. And whenever that go turn does happen, at the start of the battle, at the start of the turn, he calls his fight first rune, where everything in his army is fight first. So you go in, and then he's like, just kidding. I hit you.
Wait. So it's high tide, but you get to pick when it happens.
Yeah, it's once per game, but you do get to pick when it happens.
It's only one turn?
Yeah, one turn.
That's still pretty freaking awesome. And
is that good?
Is that an ability of like that's like a heroic trait or something like that?
That's the battle traits for the entire army. You just get to call that as like the ruin.
Shoot.
So that's what I'm saying is like for one turn you
sick.
get, or maybe a battle round is the 5-up ward for your entire army, or maybe the turn, I can't remember. There's crit mortals, which is another really big one, where it's like when it's his go turn, he's just going to be like spamming you with mortal wounds.
Damn.
And then maybe near the end of the game, he might be doing that pulse where it just does a whole bunch of mortal wounds to. It's just like pick everything that's within 10 inches of Fire Slayers units to up to 3 mortal wounds.
Why did they waste such awesome rules on Fire Slayers? I don't get it.
Yeah.
What?
So yeah, that's that list.
Just
It's honestly, I hope I don't have to go against this just because I hate playing against Fire Slayers because I don't know what anything. I can't. You just
is
can't keep
or
everything.
Yeah, no, it's true. Unless you play the army. I feel like so. I had 2 thoughts when I was not listening to your entire explanation there. The first one was like, man, I should think about bringing back my Giselle, even though I think they're overpointed and whatnot, in a meta with like foot heroes like being such a keystone of many different armies. It feels like Giselle are suddenly a little more interesting again, even at their current price point or whatever. And then the other thing I was thinking was like, imagine if these cool rules were on an army with like visually distinct and interesting. Like, what if like one of the heroes, like one of the heroes that you just named was like this dwarf like leaping from a rock, and he had like a Dark Souls style great axe. You know what I mean? And you'd be like, okay, great axe guy. Like I can keep that in my brain. You know what I mean? And then there's like another guy with like some kind of big like flamethrower spear or something like that. Like even if they had a bunch of these still stupid like foot heroes, at least then we could keep them apart in our brain. And I bet you the Fire Slayers players would like them more too. Anyway, now back to your regularly scheduled program, I guess.
One other thing I forgot to mention is the Battlesmith has the Ash Cloud Ruin, which I think is like a once per game, you can't shoot me while I'm wholly within 12 of this guy. Just cannot be shot.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, then that's... I mean, it definitely doesn't apply to them. And Not Madeline says, Giselles will successfully wound a dwarf character and buff the unit damage. So I don't know anything about them. Like I didn't know that was a thing. But
so if you hurt the heroes, then the berserkers with broad axes are going to be +1 attack, and they're base 2 attack, so it's 50% output increased.
Okay,
so they want to be hurt. Yeah,
scrap those Giselles. What Giselles? I love them. Anyway, okay. Moving right
what
along.
What you really want to be doing against this army is like killing everything except the heroes, probably.
Fair.
Like, don't try to hurt the heroes yet.
So,
I don't think you need to do that.
Don't bring Giselle. That's what I'm hearing. That thought was a poor one. Got it. Okay, moving right along. The ruin system is what keeps me on Fire Slayers. I don't blame you, Alex. Like, that sounds so much fun. It sounds like the Tides, only like it wouldn't be as thematic, obviously, for Deepkin. You know what I mean? But it just sounds like custom Tides kind of deal. So no, that sounds so freaking cool. Jason Uritescu. I'm sorry. I'm sure that was terrible pronunciation. Jason. There it is. Jason Uritescu versus from Clan Versus. Okay. I have not opened it up. We'll find out together. It is Orc War Clans, so we're going to keep that in mind. Bam. Little Buff Boys. I'm a little worried about the connotation on that. You know? Like, depending on how you say that, it could be pretty sketch. I'm going to put it in the lower bin just to be safe. How about that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
It's inoffensive.
Okay.
He understood the assignment, but yeah.
Or anyway, he did understand the assignment. So thank you for doing that, Jason. Iron Jaws, hells yeah. Weird Fist, awesome. 3 drops, right? And then you've got the Weird Knob Shaman and a Weird Knob Shaman and an Ardboy Big Boss leading those things. So the Weird Knob Shamans, plural, are going to be spreading around a nice ward around themselves, right? And then you've got, let's see. He's bringing the Manifestations of Gorka Morka. Those are the new ones. I don't like. I haven't really. Good. Are they awesome? That's so awesome. I wish they all were.
Yeah. So you have 3 of them. Number 1 is basically just like it's the swamp where it's just like objective control, but it's also a pretty big footprint, so you can actually use it as a screen, which is pretty nice.
And it's not moving.
The second, correct. It's a static manifestation. The second static manifestation are the feet.
Yeah, the feet's awesome.
The foot of Gork or feet of Gork or whatever it is. You cast them, and then you can move them in the turn that they were set up, wholly within 9 inches of the other one, and then everything in combat range of that. 2 up D3 mortal wounds, and if any mortal wounds were dealt or inflicted, your -1 charge dice until their next turn. So that's really good way to shut down.
Shoot.
Yeah, it's super good.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing, and it looks so cool. I saw someone paint it with, and they just added like a little bit of like resin or whatever, or maybe even just gloss in like the deepest parts of the footprint, so it looked like water had like kind of accumulated in there. It was so cool. That was on the Iron Jaws Facebook page. And then the other one is like the face, and I don't remember what the face does.
Yeah, the Gork Aurora is what it's called, and it's a little bit complicated, but it's actually quite good as well. Where basically you pick a wizard that's next to it, like a friendly wizard, and you can either choose to be +1 to cast or +2 to cast. Then you roll 1 dice for each +1 or +2, basically, so 1 or 2 dice. And if you roll a 1 or a 2, you take a mortal wound for each one. However, if you roll a 5 or a 6, you're +1 to charge for each 5 or 6, wholly within 12 of it. So you could potentially be +2 to charge and +2 to cast.
That's amazing.
And the spicy thing about it is that the effect is a pulse for the plus to cast. So what that means is that
So they can
you
just
get
go
plus
off.
to cast. Well, no, well, yes, but also into your opponent's turn, which means you effectively have like a weird nom shaman that is just as good as casting as like Nagash. At counter casting something, right?
Damn.
So
now there is the downside. Like on 33% of the time, you just take mortal wounds, but you still get the plus to cast anyway, right?
yeah,
And they have 6 wounds, so it's pretty unlikely that you're going to murk him off. And if in this list he's got a 6-up ward, so even if you do take that, like theoretically you're going to save
it
him
might
anyway.
just be allocate damage. I'm not sure.
Oh,
if
maybe.
you get a ward against it,
I don't remember.
but
I was, things have been rather hectic around here, so I did start very, like I have started an Ironjaw's army. I've been building stuff and whatnot. I'm super excited, but I haven't, even really looked at the book properly. So,
yeah.
that's awesome. Okay. And then we've got, that's the Weird Knob Shaman, or one of them is the general with trophy skulls. And I don't remember what that does. Sorry. Do you remember?
That
If
might
not,
be the plus 10 OC.
by the way, does the pulse give it to everyone, or is it just infantry for the plus to charge?
Everyone, I think.
Oh, cool. So, because he's got a Magrunta on with a hacking crew here, so like that's kind of, they did by the way, they did come out with the FAQ, and so you can no longer get momentum points on your Magruntas, unfortunately. Plus 10 OC, says Alex. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then we've got some weird brute Rekkas. And these guys are so awesome, man. Like they have a 5-up ward, and they're 100 points now, like, which is amazing. And then underneath the other one, he's got the Ragers as well, and they've got fight first. So like you've got a little bit of both. I think the Ragers do a little more damage on average, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. They're both awesome, both amazing models.
It's 6 attacks damage 1 versus 3 attacks damage 2. So
okay.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay, so it's pretty much like 1/6, half a dozen.
I think there's a difference in like one might be like +1 rend against something, but it's pretty similar.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing is that the Ragers will be getting strike first on the charge, like you said, and then the Rekkas
5-up ward.
I don't think they have a special ability.
No, I think it's just a 5-up ward.
Yeah.
So they're like a little bit better against, a little more survivable. Although I think they might have a slightly worse. I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Anyway, so then you've got Gore Gruntas, and you've got an Ardboy Big Boss, an Eye for Defight. I think it's
minimum like 4 and 3 to play, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. I was going to say something wrong, actually. And then 2 units of reinforced Ardboys. This is really interesting because, like, you would think that there's no sub-commander here. And in, like, a heavy infantry army, you would think that you would see one. Especially, like, I particularly like, what's his bucket? Zoggy, with all those Ardboys. But this is interesting. I'd be curious to see what Alex is thinking. I know he's been off the Ironjaws lately until certain things happen. Yeah. But yeah,
this 1970 is going to be a super 1970 points. This is going to be a super anvil army essentially, with those 40 Ardboys just sitting in the center of the table.
Right.
They might have a little bit of a problem with damage output.
Right.
Just because he doesn't have any of his war chanters, which are going to be pulsing out the +1 damage.
Yeah.
So the only thing is that if you're stuck in combat with those Ardboys, they're just going to attrition you to death by shield bashing you constantly, because the rule changed from unit that charge to if you're just in combat with them and they pick an enemy unit within 1 inch, every Ardboy within 3 inches of that unit on a 6-up or a 5-up, because it's the Ardboy Big Boss near them, is going to deal a mortal wound. So they'll be chipping you down pretty quick. So as long as you don't get stuck in combat with them, I think that's the only problem this list has, is that damage output.
I can see that. I think, like, I'm assuming that the Magrunta with the hacking crew is going to get the new +1 to hit thing instead of putting on the sub commander. But even more reason, like, for me to like get a sub commander in there And then, you've got 3 drops here, so you could make it. Anyway, I mean, whatever. Like, this isn't a critique or whatever. I don't know enough about Ironjawz to critique anyone, clearly. But I like it, though. I think it's really fun, and it's got a lot of interesting things. It's got some speed, with the Mogrunta and the Gorgruntas and stuff like that. So, Yeah.
One thing you'll want to watch out for, too, is that those Gorgruntas, there's a really good chance that... So he can just send them in turn 1 because they can be moving 12 inches. Then it's a 6-inch charge, and it's an easy way to get them plus the charge and stuff like that. They probably hit a screen, hurt the screen, if not kill it, power through on it so that they're like maybe 6 inches away from what they actually want to tag.
Ooh.
And then they Mighty Destroyers tag something in your turn and just completely shut down your turn. And there are a lot of wounds, right? I think it's, 15 wounds on a 3-up?
Right.
It's like not easy to lift.
They're on a 3-up now?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Then he could also do something like just park them, 5.9 inches away from your front line, and then in your turn you just go shmeep, and he moves them forwards and shuts down your ability to actually go anywhere in your turn. So there's a lot of ways that this list can mess with you.
That's cool.
And one other thing is that he doesn't have the Boss Rock Tower in his list, so it might be good, Dale, if you can reach out to him to see if he actually doesn't have it painted or built. But that's another huge piece of tech too, where it's an 18-inch range, 4-up, -1 charge dice. So it's good. Yeah.
Does this happen in the opponent's turn?
No. Just your hero phase. And if it's garrisoned, but still. You might not have it. I don't know if
but still, for real. 18 inches. Yeah, maybe not. Right. Yeah, they could both run and charge, says Pat. That's a good point. 40 Ardboys meta, Alex sleeps. But Ardboys look so cool. But fair. Went to GW store online to look at the terrain piece, Auric Warclans. It's not there, nor is the Battle Tome. Either website or my browser is drunk. Really? Is it? Someone said, like, I remember before they were saying on the Facebook page, Keith, that they hadn't got them in Australia, and that's not a joke at all. I believe it's actually like somehow this is a reality that we're living in, that they still don't have them. But I hope that's not the case. I hope that you guys get them. Maybe try switching it to like Canada or whatever, because I think it's still on there as far as I know. Anyway, we spent enough time on these beautiful, awesome orcs. Should we spin that wheel?
Let's do it.
Cool. Because I already did. We've got Arthur Nicholson. That's not Arthur from... Is it?
Yeah.
What? That's so freaking awesome. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, if people don't know, he's a sponsor. He sponsors the battle reports. He gives a $20 gift certificate to people who are on the battle reports, and in exchange, we shout them out at the start and the end. They're super awesome. They do discounts on GW merchandise, and we love them.
And he's got a tournament coming up. Still got, I think, 10 tickets left.
Cool.
So 2.5 weeks from now, there's going to be a GT at Richmond reroll. So go sign up. Good tournament.
Hell yeah. And he is Slaves to Darkness. God dang it. This is like tailor-made for us. How far are we into this podcast? Okay, we're 50 minutes almost. I feel like we can say it at this point. The list name is Slaves to Darkness, more like Craves to Fart/Piss, or Farts Piss. Fart Piss. God damn it. I can't even say it.
More like Craves to Fart Piss.
Thank you. Craves to Fart Piss.
It's a 5-0. I don't know what else to say.
This is an easy 5-0. But okay, I have to say something though, Carson. It's like he knows us. It's like he's like, they'll like this. They're stupid. You know?
Yeah.
Lowest common denominator. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You know what? That's all we need to know. That's all we really needed to know. Yeah. Okay. Amazing. Thank you, Arthur. Thanks for watching. We appreciate everything you do. Slaves to Darkness. I think I should take this one. The God's Wrath Warband is a funny little piece of tech. Okay, yeah, you can go.
God's Wrath Warband is something that every Slaves player is going to forget to do every time because it's pretty inconsequential. Basically, it's just like you defile points at the end of your turns. and then everything on those points take 2 up D3 mortals in your turn. But it almost never comes up because usually when you're on an objective, your opponent is not because they're dead. So
that's true.
so
that's
it doesn't
true.
really matter.
But this isn't what you run, hey?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But you still forget because
there isn't really a great
subfaction.
I forget a lot.
Yeah.
It's 2 drops. He's got the Kron Spine. Then he's got Be'lakor, who he makes the show work. Like he makes the Slaves of Darkness work. He's got that shutting a unit off once per game. He's got the 4-up fight first in the opponent's combat phase. Like it's just value. What's up?
Did you mention the Kron Spine?
Yep.
I thought you did. Like I heard it, but then I noticed that Pat said 5-0, but pandering. And I was gonna say, well, yeah, but we allow that when they're a sponsor of the channel, and
yeah.
So absolutely. Good job. Right? Sorry, moving right along. Yeah, everyone knows what Be'lakor does at this point. If you don't, then watch any of our previous list review shows, and you will get more of an earful. But
yep, and he's one of 7 at this tournament, so there's
7 out of 60. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Shoot.
More than a 10% chance of facing Be'lakor in a given round. Well, I guess it changed. Never mind.
Throughout the tournament.
Yeah,
fair. Yeah.
But then he's got 10 chosen, which have the banner of Screaming Flesh, which just means they're auto-mark Slanesh for 3d6 charge, and they're +1 attack on the charge. He's got a reinforced block of Chaos Knights, 40 wounds on a 3-up. Why not? Then he's got the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, who's got Infernal Puppet and Radiance of Dark Glory. Infernal Puppet is the once per game he picks an enemy wizard within 24 inches. Every time that wizard is picked to use a spell ability, they take D3 mortal wounds. And then Radiance of Dark Glory is just a big bubble wholly within 12 inches. He rolls a 3-up and he heals 1 for that unit, or 3 if it's Be'lakor because monsters. And then he's got a big block of 20 Chaos Warriors, which is just another 40 wounds on a 3-up. So this is actually a surprisingly wound dense list. This is 110 wounds on a 3-up, and then the 2 heroes.
God dang.
So
man,
it's a lot to chew through. He's sacrificing a little bit of the output just because most people will run either like 2 blocks of Chosen or Baron Guard and Chosen.
Right.
But I mean, I wouldn't want to charge into anything. And I guess the Knights. I'd be okay with charging into the Knights because they're pretty bad off the charge. But the Chaos Warriors, like, that's a ton of attacks. They have auto wound. They could be fighting first because of Be'lakor. Like, yeah, it's a scary list. You know, it's only got 5 pieces, but he could be handing out a 5-up ward to one of his units too, which is pretty gross. So anything that's 40 wounds on a 3-up, 5-up is just wow. Like it's a lot to deal with.
You Slaves players need to find your soul, reconnect with it. This is horrifying. Before I forget,
I mean, here's the thing though.
Oh,
okay, what's up?
Alex made a kind offer. I just let's collectively not forget, but I don't want you to forget what you were going to say. Okay, so you finish your thought, and I just didn't want to forget to acknowledge that.
Sure. Yeah. So he only has 5 units, and a lot of slaves. I don't know why it's zooming in on me so far, but he only has 5 units, and a lot of slaves players only have 5 units. This tournament, there are 3 dense battle plans. So shifting objectives, border war, and battle of the pass, and 2 spread objectives maps, which I think are close to the chest and better part of valor.
Okay,
I think those are the 2. So on those 6 objective maps, the slaves players will struggle because you literally have less units than there are objectives, and you're not going to have all of your units for the entire game, right?
Right.
So it's going to be tough to just have this surface area to be able to deal with that. And if you can pull a Slaves player in multiple directions because they have to be scoring on primary, that's usually how you win against them. So on a spread map, it's actually it can be rough for a Slaves player just because like what I want to do is just be a cannonball that just smashes into your army and then I step on the points afterwards. Whereas if you want to be everywhere on all of the different primaries and I have to kind of like spread out, then that becomes way harder. So
it sounds like the playstyle is tailor-made for me, but I still got a soul. So no dice. By the way, when it zooms in on you, it does look extra funny because like because of the delay, like your the video doesn't match the audio. So it also looks like you're like dubbed Carson or something like that. Like you've been dubbed over. But before I forget, Alex said about referring to the Auric War Clan's terrain piece. He said if he doesn't have it in his list because he couldn't get one, or he can contact me and I can bring one. So yeah, I don't know if Dale or someone could get in contact with him and find out what the dealio is, but that would be much appreciated and very kind of Alex, because he painted it up. It looks really great. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Okay, I guess are we good?
Is it that delayed? My voice? Like, is it that bad? Should I reconnect?
Why don't you reconnect just to try it out, and I'll do some stuff. Yeah. Cool. Over and out. Okay. So I'm flying solo. All right. No one else is in this meeting. Didn't need to tell me that. Maybe I'll spin while because like he can't see it anyway, right? And Latifica says it's no FVN, but it made you laugh. So I don't disagree.
Hello. Does
Keep
it seem
talking.
okay?
It seems better.
Okay. I'm continuing to talk. Blah, 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 blah. Hello.
Oh, now it's kind of the same.
Oh, okay.
You're not on Wi-Fi though. I know you're not on Wi-Fi.
I am on Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Okay, I'm lying.
But I mean, the router's like 10 feet away from my computer, though.
Weird.
It's been I think I have to call my internet service provider because it's been an issue all day.
Oh, has it?
I restarted the router and my PC, and it's not any better. So
annoying. Okay. Next one up is Ronan Sponchia. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to once again apologize to anyone's names that I have mispronounced. I am doing my best. Ooh, it's another Auric War Clans. All right. Okay. So, the list name is Steel Mouths. 1980 points. General's Handbook 2024-2025. Steel Mouths. He gave it a name. It is a name, right? I almost feel bad when I give these things lower bin, which, spoiler alert, lower bin, but because like they understood the assignment, like, you know what I mean? So like, don't feel bad if you're in the lower bin, okay? Because even if you're in the upper bin, we're all in this garbage bin together, okay? That's all I wanted to say. Carson, what do you think?
I agree. Steel Melts is meh. Like it's very.
Here's some like honest to goodness feedback. So Keith says feels narrative. Maybe it is, but if you're making it narrative, it should be Steel Mouths with an F at the end, right? Like Nash Toof. There you go. Moving right along. General's Handbook, Auxiliaries 0, Drops 3, Manifestations of Gorky Morkies, War Beats, Lore of the Weird. None of this is really surprising at this point. I don't see a subfaction, or am I just stupid?
That's a good point. I don't think there is a subfaction here.
Okay.
So that's something to note. I know
it is something to note.
Maybe.
Yeah, he might need some feedback or whatever. I'm assuming it's probably, Weird Fist, I think it's called, because there's a shaman leading this one and a war chanter over here. I love that there's a mega boss in here because it allows Zoggy to be the sub-faction or the sub-commander guy. Maybe that's why the last person didn't take it, because it has to be a mega boss. And like, yeah, But yeah, War Chanter for those sweet prayers and damage buffs. Brutes reinforced. That's really good, especially when you've got the Mega Boss nearby. Gore Gruntas, like you said, very utilitarian, great in the early game. Weird Knob Shaman, Ard Boys, which is awesome. So that's reinforced. And then we've got Ragers, Brute Ragers, and another unit of Gore Gruntas. So this is kind of cool. It's like a little bit of the mix of the old and the new. Utilitarian, moving pretty fast. Only one Weird Knob Shaman, though. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because it, I don't know. What do you think?
Like, cast by being close to the, like a bunch of other orc units. Like, he increases the power level when he's nearby.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. You got to keep him around, though. But I mean, and like like we said before, the War Chanter gives out that the ward save too, assuming he's in the right, thing there. Yeah, you make a good point. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and then he's got his War Chanter, which can be giving out that +1 damage, like we said, and also issuing out a 3d6 charge. If you get like the big, like high-powered prayer or whatever it's called, of that one. Otherwise, it's just +1 to charge. And then he's got a unit of brutes, which is something that the previous list didn't have, which are a serious hammer. Like all of them have damage 2 weapons, except for I think 2 or 3 of them will have I think it's 2 of them have the damage 3 weapons. But if he goes +1 damage, that whole unit is 3 damage flat, and then 4 damage flat on those guys. And the other kind of crazy thing too is that Zogrok Anvil Smasher can be pointing at someone and giving on a 3-up crit mortal. So he can really stack the damage onto one unit and just destroy something. So it's pretty scary.
It works on Ard Boys. It works on Brutes. That's a great point. Yep. Yeah, I like it.
I mean, even he makes Ard Boys +1 damage and crit mortal. Like, that's terrifying. They will melt something if they get that.
They absolutely.
Actually, either one of those, they'll get it.
Yeah.
And then if he calls a wall, I believe he gets +1 attack. So if he's like +1 attack, +1 damage, like on a good go turn, like he can be absolutely shredding you. So you really got to be careful going into this list.
And Zoggy's not that easy to take out, and he's going to be surrounded by like really tough things and making everyone, including himself, move faster. Yeah, this is kind of dope. It's kind of an awesome list, actually. This is kind of like the sort of thing that I was trying to build myself, or am trying to build myself. I've got them right there.
It doesn't particularly have a speed issue either, because Zogrok is going to be probably made a field sergeant, so he's going to be getting +2-inch moves, so they go to 6-inch move base.
That's definitely the case. Oh, by the way, the Mega Boss also. Oh no, he lost that, didn't he? He doesn't buff brutes anymore, right? I think he lost.
I think it's in combat or something. It definitely changed.
Okay, interesting.
And then he could, whatever hammer that he wants to send at you, he mighty destroyers them 3 inches closer too, so they're effectively moving 9. And then on a go turn, they're going to be +1 or 2, or even actually, I think you can get to like +4 to charge if you wanted to.
What the hell? Wait.
Because the Gork Aurora could be +2 to charge.
Up to +2 if you roll. Yeah. Okay.
Calling a Wa is +1 to charge.
+1, yeah.
Yeah, and then
I don't know about the other one.
The War Chanter can give an additional +1 charge, but actually he's probably doing +1 damage.
He's probably doing damage, yeah. But still, that's a good point.
Still +3 to charge. It's pretty crazy.
That's pretty awesome. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, that's not on average, though. You got to roll the 2 5-ups. But, you're probably going to roll, like, one of them. You're probably going to get one of those other things. So you're probably averaging, like, +2 to charge. Like, on a normal kind of deal. Yeah, I like it. And then the +2-inch movement. Yeah, that's awesome. He fights in sequence with brutes and buffs as he does it. Okay. It's kind of like the White King for Soulblight. What up, Kenny? You just got off work? Thanks for joining us, man. We were talking anyway. It's you can see it later, but yeah, we've had some. I don't know if you noticed, but the member goal is up there, so check that out. Yeah, this is an awesome list. I really like it. The only thing I might change is just because I like Maw Gruntas so much, I might like move some of the forces in that general direction. But it's also good to have a monster, I feel like, especially if you're running 3 3, what's it called? Regiments, because it's not unlikely that you get a second pick and then you can make it extra special. My Pet Monster. Oh, that's a good reference. Oh, yeah. Does anyone know My Pet Monster with Fred Savage? My Pet Monster. No? Okay. Well, I made someone's day, probably. Anyway, super cool list. Yeah. When you do, if you do update this list, if you like, when you get to pick your Weird Fist or whatever it is, you can change your list name at that point to Mouths. Anyway, moving right along. We're going to Gotta Love a War Cabbage. I don't think it was just, I think it was a dude on foot, Keith.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm missing something. Alex Butler. Uh-oh. Here we go, buddy. Okay. Oh, he is playing Fire Slayers. Okay, so I feel like we should just get him on here to explain.
Yeah. I'll do my best, Alex. Despite forgetting almost everything, I'll do my best.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, Pat had a My Pet Monster. As long as we got someone. Okay. Return of the Droths is the name. Now, this name actually is kind of almost poignant in a way because Alex's love of his magma Droths. It's also extremely, extremely deadly, as Carson and many other people can attest to. It's very scary. But first, we need to rate the list name. Also, are we being like totally, what's the word? Like removed, not knowing Alex? Or are we like...
I'll give one for each. I'll give one because I know Alex and one is if I didn't.
Good.
And I think that it ends up just being mid-bin, lower bin. Like,
right.
Because I know Alex, it's mid-bin because I'm like, I understand this reference.
Yeah.
If I didn't know Alex, I'd be like, cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. So we'll say Moldy Bits because it's like right in the zone there. Like they
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes sense because he is from England. So
Yep.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
A damp country.
Indeed. Okay, so he has 5 drops. This time he scales of Volcatrix, which is +2 health. +2 health for all of his magma drops.
5 drops. Holy crap. Oh my god.
So he's +2 health for all of his magma drops, which means they're all 16 health instead of 14.
Okay.
All of the magma droths across the board have every time they make a save roll of 1, I think they deal a mortal wound back to you. So if you have like really high volume output, then it can end up working against you. So I'm going to start with like the enhancements that he has. He's got the Auric Rune Sun on magma droth with the Ashbeard, which is, I don't think a Rune Sun starts as a priest, so it makes him a priest instead. So just so that he can get 2 priests in this list. And then the Auric Rune Smiter, which is the priest in the list, has the Droth Helm. And what that is that it's just a big 12-inch bubble of +1 to hit on all of his companion weapons. And one thing to keep in mind is that every single Droth here has a shooting attack, which is a companion weapon, which are 3s, -1 D3 damage. But they're 4 attacks each, which means he has a total of 24 attacks, 24 shots at 10-inch range. And it'll be on 2s and 3s because of the Droth Helm. Ren 1, but Ren 2 into infantry, D3 damage.
Jeez.
So that's the thing that actually surprised me the most about the list when I was playing ogres into it, is that he was just like crapping damage from afar, especially on infantry. It was like quite potent. The Rune Father, very slappy. He's got the Latchkey Grand Axe, which is flat 3 damage. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, he can fight twice with it or something. Rune Father
with the axe.
me just check. There's something that allows him to fight twice. I can't remember what.
I see. I'm sorry, Keith. Yes, totally. Keith says transportable. This army seems transportable. Roman says this is a tournament-winning list. I don't disagree. And Dale said he's going to stick his fingers up at the ticket after winning the tournament. That wouldn't surprise me either. Kenrick says 5 drops. That's true. Beasley says these are even hard to tell apart. These are even harder to tell apart than the infantry. That's true, but Alex actually melted them all and posed them all differently, and he actually did a lot of conversion work on them. So you still won't be able to tell them apart, but they look cool. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. If I play Alex, the father doesn't fight twice anymore. Okay, interesting. I think there's a way to give I know that there's a prayer that applies specifically to Magmadroths that might be +1 attack or -1 to wound or something. That's something to keep in mind to ask him, I guess.
To ask him, yeah, but fair enough.
Each one of these is going to be dealing quite a bit of damage. He's got 2 rune fathers, and those are the ones with the flat 3 damage attacks. All of the Magmadroths are going to be +1 to hit. Yeah, it's just a lot of it's a lot of wounds, because what is that, 16 times 6 Magmadroths, so 96 wounds on a 4-up. He can be having a 5-up ward. They're going to be bouncing back mortals at you on save rolls of 1. He's going to probably pop his fight first ruin. There's a lot of different tricks that he can do, and like I said, it's just that shooting output is actually quite potent as well, right? You can't ignore it. And because he can be, I think they each move 10 inches or something. 20-inch threat range is still pretty big, or maybe 22 if they move 12. But yeah, this list will catch a lot of people off guard, I think.
Right.
So be careful.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Alex, very strong player. He's won with Idnith in the past, and this army moves, pretty fast because they're all on monsters and whatnot. And he's gonna be +1 to hit on one of them, and maybe some other buff on the another one. It's pretty good, man. It's pretty good. Alex's father doesn't fight twice anymore. That's because he's off the sauce. Moving right along. Spin that wheel. Gonna make you feel something about your father. Fire Slayer's discussion remind me of Drukhari special weapons discussion. I just glue whatever on there. Your opponent won't know what anything is anyway. He's not wrong. Matthias Cruchel is next up. I think I've heard of that guy. Ossiarch Bone Reapers. And the list name is... Oh, God. You piece of crap. Why do I even have to say this out loud? Okay. 1 CAD, which stands for Canadian dollar, /0.7 USD drops. You son of a bitch.
Put the conversion rate in for his drop count.
Thank you, Matthias.
Pretty good. I like that.
It is clever. I do like it. I have to think about it, where it goes in the bin.
The least upper bin for me. I like it.
I like it a lot too.
I don't think it's a 5-0. I think Arthur's got that still.
I think, yeah, Arthur. But, Arthur's got I think so far he's the best list name of the night. He had poop in there. He had, it's just amazing. I'll go upper bin. I agree. Upper bin. Yeah. Very clever. He does have, so it is 1 drop. Okay, please. Yeah. It's got, I know about Arcan. Yeah, but thank you. Yeah. Who, you or me?
So this list, I actually played against this list. It is horribly list tailored against me, and I will not accept these transgressions. Because basically, this is the quintessential Alpha Strike list. He's Cabalos Lance as well, which means those 2 big 10 blocks of Death Riders,
right,
are going to be moving 6 inches at the start of the game. And if he knows that he's outdropped you, he can very easily just like shove those into your face because they move 6 inches at the start of the game, and then he can be moving them 12 again in his movement phase with the +2 to move aura, and then like if they're moving 18 inches, it's like they get to go wherever they want to go essentially. Then those Morghast Harbingers are going to be moving 12 inches too and charging 3d6. So it's like this list will be in your face turn 1 easily. And because the Morghast fly, they're not going to have any issues clearing screens and stuff like that. It's very fast. Then he's got Arc in the Black, which I believe is a triple caster, who's got a big aura of a 4-up spell ignore. So any debuffs that you try to apply on a 4-up, he's just going to say, I don't care. And then he's got Curse of Years. Half the time, yeah. He's got Curse of Years, which is his War Scroll spell, which is basically he rolls 10 dice for each 6, does a mortal wound, and then he rolls... Yeah, and then he just keeps... Is that it?
Does it not tick up anymore?
And then I think it keeps going... No, it ticks down, I think.
Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah, because it's 10 dice, 6s, and then roll those 5s, roll those 4s, roll those 3s, 2s, 1s, and it keeps going. It stops at 2 now, though. It does. You can't go on forever until you roll a 1.
Boo.
But he's still a very powerful caster. And then he's got Archcavalier Xantos, which has a big +1 attack bubble that it can pop once per game. So having the Morghast be 4 attacks each instead of 3 attacks each, very likely they're going to be on crit 2 hits, or sorry, crit 5s instead of crit 6s. So they will just absolutely shred something that they go into. So it's pretty big. It's pretty good. You know, like it's a lot of wounds too. Like those Death Riders are going to be, what's that? 10 Death Riders, 30 wounds each. I guess it's not that many wounds. But
30
it's still
wounds,
just
but
like
they're on a 3-up, 6-up normally, right?
4-up base.
Oh, 4-up.
6-up.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds a lot more fair.
Yeah. Yeah, this list is going to try and slap you hard.
Right.
And that's it.
I didn't realize that Matthias is such a huge fan of cake. You know? Really wants to get at that cake.
Yep. Absolutely. It's here for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly. Cool. Shall we move on?
Let's do it.
Good luck to Matthias. So what time are we going to go to the names? I feel like we're being a little bit more fun tonight, but maybe 9?
Maybe. Yeah, I was going to say 9.
Okay.
That's good. So another 40 minutes of actual lists and then the names at the end.
Cool. Nick Collins is next up. Nick Collins, another dice licker.
And another Slaves to Darkness.
Okay, you're reading this one out.
All right. I'll stick to the things that we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Oh, you mean the name? The list name.
I meant the name.
Masters of Puckery.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Mid-bid. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense. He's got Primal Energy. So Primal Energy, it's a pretty decent toolbox. He's got access to healing. He's got the Ravanax Gnashing Jaws, which can be dealing some damage and impact mortals. And he's got the Burning Head, which is casted on a 5. You know, it's really easy to countercast if you want to prevent someone's teleport or something like that. They put a bridge in front of you, you countercast that and just mess with their plans. Be'lakor, we know what Be'lakor does. An Exalted Hero of Chaos has Favored of the Pantheon. What does that do now? Because it used to be like an Eye of the Gods roll or something.
While you're looking that up, Kenrick says...
He gets 3 Dark Apotheosis points. Sorry.
Okay.
So basically, he starts at 3, and you need to get to 8 to become a Demon Prince. So he's just closer to becoming a Demon Prince. Then he's got a reinforced block of Ogre Theridons, which have the Dread banner, which is the No Commands banner, which is really good. Theridons have their once per game +1 attack, which is also... I think it's +1 attack, or maybe +1 damage, which is also really good. And the Dread banner doesn't give them a mark, so they get to choose, depending on who the opponent is. Then his second regiment, he's got a Chaos Sorcerer Lord for handing out that 5-up ward with Infernal Puppet, which is the mortal wounds whenever you do a spell once per game. He's got a reinforced block of chosen, and then a mind stealer's phalanx, which it has fight last tech. Basically, that's what I know, and I think it's like a 6-inch range. I want to say.
Okay.
Phalanx.
I like that this is different enough though that it's causing you to have to actually look at your rules.
I know generally what it does, but it's just like
right. No, but
things.
like I'm trying to give him props because it is something very different. Like it has Bellicor, sure, but like it's got Theridons, which I haven't seen this entire edition. It has a Sphyrinx or whatever it's called. I've seen Eternus. Like I can't remember if it was with you or someone else was bringing him. So
him.
But was it? Okay, that's what I thought. But like it's different, you know. They're outside the box here, so that's cool.
Yeah. So the Mind Stealer's Phalanx is basically like Usharan's ability, where it's roll above the control characteristic and then they get fight
okay.
last. But it's 6-inch range. Yeah.
Damn, that's way better.
Yep. But that's literally all it does. Like it's not good otherwise. But it's still really nice. Especially in the mirror match, it's really nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe against Ushi. Well,
yeah, that too.
Actually, he's a monster.
Well,
so
it's probably control 5.
Yeah,
so it's probably not just need to roll 6.
Oh,
Eternus is basically just like a big 12-inch bubble of every time you use a command on a 5-up, it's not actually happening. Then the Chaos Legionnaires they're a screen, but they've also got that funky ability where in the movement phase, you pick an enemy unit within 6 inches. On a 4+, they can't use commands for the rest of the turn. So a lot of anti-command tech in this list.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of here for it. I like it. It's 3 drops. But it's got a lot of the tools that you normally see. And it's got a lot of tech. So, yeah. It's neat.
Fair. Alexander says Theridons were everywhere at LVO. I cannot confirm nor deny, but there's like how many hundreds of people playing in the tournament. So I don't know. Like I haven't seen them. Now that's anecdotal, but so is, them being everywhere at LVO. Maybe they're coming back into the meta. I hope so, because they look freaking awesome. The models are super cool. So hopefully. But yeah, no, this is, at least like it's not what we've seen in every other list. So that's cool. Cool.
Yep.
Should we move right along? Excellent. Very excellent. Spin that wheel. Appointments call. I must away. Thanks so much for hanging out, Keith. Appreciate it. We like having you. Westley Reed. Again, apologies for butchering your name, no doubt. Westley. Skaven. All right. I'm going to guess that they didn't understand yeah.
Box.
Box. What is this in regard to? Oh, this is your list name? Yeah. Is it a recycling bin or is it just didn't understand the assignment?
I don't know. There's something wrong with me because I kind of like it. Box.
Not even a capital on the B.
Yeah. Probably didn't understand the assignment, I think.
I guess recycling.
Who are we to say? Who are we to say?
Well, that's what recycle bin is. Just we don't know, right? So, okay. Well, we've got 3 drops. We have the lore. We've got Warp Cog. Okay, interesting. Because right at the top, I see Kritok Foulblade, who is a Verminous guy, and he allows the person to do 2, 3 claw steps ahead. But the second one has to be a Verminous unit. And so we see a unit of Clan Rats and a unit of Reinforced Storm Vermin there. So he'll have access to that. Grayseer on Screaming Bell, which now gives a 13 or 12. It used to be 6 inches. I think it's 12 inches now. Not as, whatever. But, and then for the aura of a 6-up ward. And then another unit of Clan Rats and another unit of Storm Vermin. So, it would be at this point that I would be wondering if they didn't mistake the wrong subfaction. But then you see that there's an Arch Warlock, a unit of Reinforced Rattling Guns, and a unit of Reinforced Jezzail. So I think that it is actually done on purpose. And then the Warpstone Charm allows him to give them -1 to save when you're in combat with them. So that's like effectively increasing the rend on the clan rats and storm vermin, assuming that they're rocking around together anyway. And then skilled manipulator. I have to look at my phone. I can't remember. I don't think it's the 4-up ward when they're nearby and then you kill units, but I have to look it up now. Pardon me. I've made like so many lists in, what do you call it? In my thing here that, there we go. Skilled manipulator. Yeah, it's a 4-up ward if they're within 1 inches of friendly clan rats now. Huh. It used to be like more if they were like, 1 wound models and stuff like that. That's interesting. Because it already has a 5-up ward. I feel like that would be better on like the Arch Warlock or something. You know what I mean? Because then he goes from no ward to a 4-up. And then just stick him near some clan rats. It's interesting. I mean, this isn't my kind of, like, this isn't my list. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of tech here because there are enough things, there are enough Verminous units to really get the most out of Kritok. And at his current price point, I think he's very interesting. It's 2,000 points on the nose, which is why there's no more Rattling guns. Yeah, I like it. It's interesting. It's interesting. But work on that list name unless you meant to do it, and then it's perfect for Carson, so congrats. Yeah. Yeah, moving right along. Cool. I always like to see Skaven. Yeah. Yeah, Pat, I haven't seen it, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Will Reeves, come on down. Will Reeves.
I'm going to have to get up my phone for this one.
Okay. Auric War Clans, awesome. So, this is the name of the list. Are you ready? Word on the street is Cruel Boys suck. And there, misspelled there, by the way, is nothing in the book that can make the army even the least bit playable. I like it. It's sassy. It's sassy. I'm going to go with mid-bin.
I agree with that. Solid mid-bin.
And it's also a shot at all the naysayers, and I appreciate that. Also, it's 5 drops, which is intense.
Yeah, it's also Merkvast Menagerie, which is the Army of Renown. So that's why I said I'm going to have to get out my phone for this one.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know why. I just assumed, because he always, okay, for those that don't know, he always plays Ironjaws. Or not always, but like he's been playing Ironjaws quite a bit lately. And now it's a 5-drop Cruel Boys. And Will is kind of known for pulling out interesting and sort of different things from here and there. This is, this might be good. This might be interesting. This might catch some people out. Go on.
So I'll read out the 3. We'll quickly go over the battle traits and the spells and whatnot.
Please do.
Battle trait number 1,
okay.
Which is After It, lads. Where basically, once per turn in your movement phase, you can move a Merkvast Menagerie monster that wasn't set up this turn up to 3 inches, and it can move into combat, which is interesting because I think that means you can like auto run it and then just murder lust essentially.
Wow.
Which is kind of neat with just 1 monster. And then the second one is a passive, which is Crawly Swarm. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for combat attacks that target friendly Merkvast Menagerie units while they're wholly within 12 inches of friendly monster that has not charged this turn.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting. That's actually quite good. It's just like you just get a -1 to hit bubble if you have a monster in the center of your castle.
Yeah.
And then the third one is Propagate, which is once per turn army, any combat phase. You pick one of your monsters that has not used any rampage abilities this turn. Then pick an enemy unit in combat to be the target. The effect is roll a number of dice equal to the health characteristic of that monster. For each 6 or plus, inflict 1 mortal damage. After this ability is resolved, this unit cannot use any other rampage abilities for the rest of the turn. Okay, so it's just that you just splash mortal wounds at something. So that's kind of neat. And then the artifact is you pick an objective within 6 inches to be infested with bugs for the rest of the battle. While an enemy unit is contesting an objective that is infested with bugs, you subtract 3 from their control score and ignore positive modifier control score. Neat. That includes banners too, which is kind of neat. Then the heroic trait is you just have a 5-up ward. And then the spells is just 1 spell on a 7, which is you pick a visible friendly Merc-Vast Menagerie infantry unit, wholly within 12 to be the target. Make a casting roll of 2d6. And then until the start of your next turn, you have a ward 5+. So, neat. That's pretty cool. And then he's got primal energy. So, okay. So then the actual list is he's got Swamp Boss Scumdrek. I don't know what any of this does. Well, if we play, I'm going to ask you so many questions. I'm sorry.
So Swamp Boss Scumdrek is the giant dude, or he's not the giant dude. He's the guy on the crocodile, he's the named character on Crocodile, and Gut Rippa's, you know what that does. Swamp Collar Shaman, you know what that does. Kill a boss on Corpse Rippa Vulture. That's the not, what you call it? Not Gobsprack. And what's interesting too is because he has the Marsh Crawler Slogoth. Does that have the monster keyword? Does anyone know? Because then if it does, then he's also got the Kill a Boss on Corpse Ripavulcha, another one, and then a Break a Boss on Mire Brute Trogoth. So he's got a lot of monsters in here.
It's a war machine. This log.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, that's stupid, but whatever. Because I was gonna say, because then that wouldn't even make sense. Man. I'm trying to figure out what he's going to make into his honor guard and stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. He could be doing Prized Beast. He could be doing...
But where?
That's true. Yeah, the Slogoth wouldn't get it.
No.
So I guess IO target, maybe
Gut Rippas?
The standard ones, like +1 rend and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know.
Unless he goes
maybe.
against,
I don't know.
Unless he goes against Alex, and then they're both gonna have 1 each.
Yeah. Interesting. And then so the Corpse Ripper Vultures are kind of neat. He's got that 3-up, and he just gets to leave combat, which is pretty nice. And then also,
and it flies and it moves fast. Interesting.
Yeah. And then anytime he's a redeploy near it, it's a minimum of 4. And then he has the old Ogre Impact Mortals, where he rolls a number of dice equal to the unmodified charge roll for each 4-up as a mortal wound. So they're pretty interesting. And never mind. Sorry, they don't inherently have that retreat thing. That's a trait that Cruel Boys get or had at one point. Never mind. Cool. But they still do their Impact Mortals and stuff. They're kind of neat.
Yeah,
I like it.
They're pretty deadly too. I don't know. Do they still get the mortals, even though they're not orcs in the army?
They'll get crit mortals, but they don't have access to like crit on 5s and stuff like that. I think.
No, fair. Yeah.
Unless the Mire Brute, maybe the Mire Brute does that.
Well, no, because it's the Mire Brute doesn't. The Mire Brute's just a slappy mother effer.
Yeah, I bet. I was thinking of the old Marsh Crawler hero or whatever.
Yeah, the Marsh Crawler used to get that, and the Corpse Rippa Vultures, I think, did too. They used to get mortals on their mount attacks. But yeah, the Mire Brute has always been just you do D3 mortal wounds to yourself, or to the Trog specifically, and then just the companion, which is the most deadly part about him, gets more attacks, depending on how many wounds you do to him. So,
yeah.
So,
he can be passing out a ward, which is kind of cute. A 5-up ward to stuff. He mostly -1 to hit.
Yeah.
He can murderless tag you in his turn.
Right.
which is neat. Like if he runs one of those monsters up and just goes like eat and just like slightly tags you in combat, so you can't redeploy or anything. It's pretty neat.
These are my favorite kinds of lists to do, like list reviews of, because like I'm learning and it's very different and interesting, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, both gut rippers, he says, for which he's going to pick for the honor guard. Oh, I see it. Yeah, I don't think I even noticed the second unit. Cool. Anyway, moving right along, but awesome list. Good luck to Will. How much time we got? Okay, we're good still. We might have to move even sooner than we said, though. David Blanchard. Whoa. I like that one enthusiastic guy. Dudes of Sigmar, and it is Blades of Corn. Blades of Corn. The list name is Cornbread for War. Like bread for war, but corn, but spelled like corn on the cob. This is working on a few different levels.
Corn. Some good pun action going on.
Yeah, you know, it's going to hit different profiles, like what do you call it? I can't go with it. Different psychographic profiles. What do you think? I think it depends on how much you like puns. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's somewhere between mid and upper bin for me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. So I guess upper crust. I think we can safely say upper crust. Cool. Awesome. We're going to check out all the army names at the end, Dale, because we knew we weren't going to get to them all, but we're going to run through them all at the end. So stay tuned to that. For people that enjoy that, it's actually my favorite part of the entire thing. So cornbread for war, yeah, upper crust for sure. Very good. Mwah. I think if you really like puns, like if you're in that profile, then this is probably easily an upper bin for you. But yeah.
Yeah. And then do you want me to talk through this list? It's relatively simple.
It's pretty simple, yeah. But sure. I mean, you definitely know it better than I do.
The one thing is that, so he's murder host. And that is whenever a non-monster Khorne demon unit fights, they get a ward 5+ for the rest of the battle. Right. I think he might have misread that because there are 3 monster demon units in this army, which makes up like the vast majority of the list. There's actually only 1 unit that isn't a monster that is a demon, which I think is the Fleshhounds. And I'm actually not even sure if those are demons, but I'm pretty sure they are.
The Fleshhounds are demons, but the Claws of Karanak are the warband.
They're mortals, yeah.
Right.
And then the Slaughter Priest is as well. So there might be a bit of a mistake there. But as far as the actual list goes, he's got Scarbrand, which is a beat stick of beat sticks. 3d6 charges always.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Fleshhounds, which are tactic goobers and screens and whatnot. Then he's got a Slaughter Priest and 3 units of Claws of Karanak, which the Claws of Karanak have their pre-game move. And they're also they're just good value for the amount of wounds you get. They're a good murderless target.
Exactly. Yeah. And they're also a great, what do you call it? Point, like blood tithe point factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Then the second regiment, he's got a Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, and that's the one that can be giving out a 3d6 charge anywhere on the board to a demon unit. And then the Bloodthirster of Insensate Rage, which is the really punchy one, where whenever he rolls 6s on his main attack, it like explodes within 8 inches, mortal wounds at enemy units within 8 inches of him. He's got Relentless Hunger, so he moves 6 inches with his Murderlust, which means he can be like auto running, I think 18, and then Murderlusting 6, and then if used within 3 of you, like it's very difficult to stay away from this thing for him to be able to just like automatically come and grab you, right?
Right.
So this list is got a lot of reach, and he can probably be giving it a 3d6 charge with the Unfettered Fury if he wants to. And then he's got Argath, King of Blades, which just shuts off a ward for a hero in melee. So no wards for you, basically. If he goes into like Catacross or Nagash, they're not going to be relying on that. So
yeah, that's
pretty
brutal. Good. Very good. Roman says, I like this list name. Give him the golden ticket. Hard to argue with that. Shall we move on to the next one?
Let's do it.
Okay. Phil is going to be there. Okay. Oop. We've got Madeline. Matthew Beasley.
I was wondering. I was like, oh, what? Is she?
Oh, he's back on that tit snitch train.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The list name is Alamim. This is fine. Right? It zoomed in on me. How nice.
Some context. He is Weird Flame host, and there's a lot of like weird flame stuff going on. So maybe that's the thing where everything's on fire. This is fine.
For sure. Oh man, he makes you work for it a little bit. I'm actually gonna see like in between mid and upper. I really like it. I'm actually gonna say upper crust.
I'd give it an upper bin for sure.
Upper bin, nice, nice.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. Like it's not just right there. Like so, yeah. I'm good with an upper crust. Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Let's see. So this list does not have Kairos, which is pretty interesting. He does, in fact, have a Lord of Change, which is going to be his source of recursion in the list. He can basically exchange in one of his Destiny dice, doesn't matter what the number on it is, to bring back a demon unit, of which he has
all of them.
4.
Oh,
I think.
Maybe not.
1,
2, 3 in the bottom, 4. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Yeah, the main things he wants to be bringing back are his horrors. He's got 30 pinks and 30 blues. Basically.
What did you call them?
So, 30 pinks and 30 blues. Unless blues are 10.
What did you call them? They are
30
10,
pinks and 30 blues. Okay. So he's got 60 horrors in this list. He's got the Baleful Sword on the Lord of Change, which can be applying Weird Flame to something that it's in combat with. It's got the Illusionist, which I think makes it's a -1 to hit within 3 inches, or makes him an additional. He's going to be -2 to hit. And then the Nine-Eyed Tome, which I believe is a +1 to cast. He's got either the Changecaster or the Changeling. So one of them is basically a +3 dice to your rally rolls. And then the other one is in the deployment phase, he just like teleports anywhere outside of 3 of enemy units.
I'm assuming that the latter is the Changeling.
Yeah, I think so. And then he's got those Zangor and Lighten on Disc of Tzeentch, which are super fast and they can be slappy. And I think if they're going second in the battle round, they're even more slappy. And he's got the Chaos Spawn of Tzeentch, because you have to include that into your list. If he casts the spell where he turns something into a spawn, he has to pay the points for that spawn in the first place. Right. And it has to not be on the table. Like he has to bring it down with that.
Right.
And that's the Lord of Change. He's got a teleport Spawn of Tzeentch, and then forget what the third one is. It's not Tzeentch's Firestorm. Maybe it is Tzeentch's Firestorm. I don't know. There's one I'm missing. And then the Manifestations of Tzeentch. He's got he can be putting out like the book where he rolls the dice and then it does something. It can be like plus attacks. It's like a buff for him and a debuff for you. There's a lot of stuff going on this list. Yeah. Doesn't apply Weird Flame. That would instead be the 9-eyed. The Baleful Sword applies Weird Flame, I thought, if it does damage to you.
Okay.
Huh?
I don't know.
Confused.
Yeah.
Anyway, 60 horrors, a Lord of Change for recursion, Zangor and Lighten for going and smacking something, a Changeling for messing with deployment and turn 1 plans, and a Changecaster for the extra recursion. And I believe he gives out like a +1 to hit against things that have burning on them. So he wants to make you burning and he wants to live longer than you. That's the shtick.
Okay. That is fair. Cool. Okay. Let us, and you know, if there's a mistake there, we'll get it sorted out in the chat pretty quick. But as the warp burns my retinas with its all F's background, Pat the rat. Okay. the great sniper. Skaven. Okay. So for those that don't know, every time Pat makes a list, he's adding more lyrics to That's Amore song, that like traditional Italian song. So this is now like later on in the song. So it's when the ground opens wide and there's more rats inside, that's a naho. When the world seems to gleam with a sickly, with a gleam with a sickly warp green, that's a nahole. Sorry, I did butcher that. My apologies. 3 drops. Oh, sorry, we should give it. I'm going to give it an upper bin because I particularly like this verse and it's a very creative thing. So at the end of it, he's going to have like a full song of That's Amore, but with Skaven stuff. So I'm going upper bin here.
I'd agree with that.
Nice.
Lots of thought put into it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Warp Cog, Thanquil, and T&B. Got a T&B sandwich. Clan Rats, Claw Lord for the, obviously for the +2 movement. And then, yeah, anyway. Bombardier leading off another thing. So you can have Warp Fire Throwers, both reinforced. Unit of Clan Rats. And then we've got the Regiment of Renown from Slaves to Darkness. Lord Scalador's Chosen, Chaos Knights, Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, and Chaos Warriors. Yeah, this is kind of similar to what we kind of saw before. I don't think you included any heroic traits or anything, my friend. What do you call them? Artifacts?
Yeah, the Bombardier could have taken both of them.
So could the Claw Lord.
Oh, the Claw Lord too, yeah.
Yeah. So, FYI. But yeah, I like it. You know, like it's definitely, I'm not one to like do the Regiment of Renown thing, but you know, we saw that, Beasley and Matthias took them both to LVO. It's very strong. It's very good. It gives Skaven an anvil and whatnot. And then the Warp Fire Throwers have good rend on them, and they are very reasonably priced if low in range. But then, you've got Thanquil to shut off commands and do that kind of thing. It's a solid list. If it ain't broke, you don't need to fix it. Oops, I totally forgot with the list indecision. That happens. Dale's in the chat here. You can let him know you can go add them, Dale says. Like some kind of evil chaos god, he chimes in the chat. You can go add them. I like the list, Pat, says Roman. Yep, it's a cool list. Absolutely. Very good. Best of luck to Pat, the rat sniper. Okay. We've got 10 minutes left before we're just going to go into the list names. We might even start a little early because there's a lot of list names here.
I think half an hour of list names is plenty. For
okay.
the list. Yeah.
Sorry, I accidentally clicked it away too quickly, but it was Petra. Petra Fisher with Skaven. What is this, my birthday? Almost. It is this weekend. Skaven. So it just says Skaven, Warp Cog, Convocation. So didn't understand the assignment. You know what, though? I'm kind of almost glad that we're still getting them, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's one person that just didn't understand the assignment. I don't know. For some reason, that's delightful.
People have been stepping up their game, for sure.
They have. And that's what I mean. Yeah. Don't let him, Dale, be ruthless, says Alex, the evil bastard in chat. Okay, we've got Thanquil on Bone Ripper, and then we've got Rattling Gun. So I immediately think that this list is actually illegal because I don't think Thanquil can take 2 weapons teams. I could be wrong about that. I don't have my list in front of me. And then we got a Grey Seer on Screaming Bell with 40 clan rats, 1 plague pack, and 20 clan rats. So you could just take out one of the units of Rattling Guns and put them in the... you probably should do that anyway, to be honest, because, the Thankful has to be the general. So you're going to be making them a little easier to be killed. Yeah, I thought so. I've made a lot of Skaven lists, and it's been a little while because I've got so many different iterations of so many different lists in my list builder thing. But yeah. So anyway, but again, they can just switch out the Rattling Guns for one of the clan rats. Boom, problem solved. It is 2 drops. But it has the foul hide and scurry away. Foul hide lets you heal D3. And scurry away on a 3-up lets you poop out of combat, like Dr. Zoidberg, Lore of Ruin, Noxious Prayers, Manifestations of Doom, which is awesome. That's the Skaven manifestations. I love to see it. I don't think it's the best choice, but I love to see it. And it's pretty good in this list because like everything but the Grey Seer and Thankful is going to be susceptible to that because they're all infantry. So I mean, you're only really taking the Manifestations of Doom for the Bell of Doom, specifically. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, maybe if anyone knows Petra, they could let them know about that mistake. But other than that, it looks good to me, and it looks like a lot of fun. And you're playing Skaven, which makes you a good person. So moving right along. Bam. That's a no. Damn it. Stuck in my head. Michael Hammond. Come on down.
Newest member of Warp Dice.
The newest member of Warp Dice. The radio broadcasting star. I'm just kidding. Okay. This is kind of awesome. I like it. You kind of have to know him. You have to know that he normally plays Iron Jaws. But I can't believe it's not Butter. I can't believe it's not Iron Jaws. And he's playing Blades of Corn, which I know nothing about. Upper crust for me. I'm going to try and be decisive tonight. You down with that? Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you want me to quickly go through the list?
Yeah. I don't even remember what Cornate Legion does. So
so Cornate Legion is the chain activate from demons to mortals, essentially.
Geez.
Yeah.
Oh, that's usually what everyone picks. Damn.
Yeah. And it's
it's not Holy Within, right?
Nope, like just within 12 inches.
Yeah, that's a weird exception. I remembered that. Funny, I remembered that, but I didn't even remember what the whole thing was called.
The only thing is though, I don't think he has a Blades of Corn demon unit.
Blades of Corn demon unit is
because the Demon Prince won't be Blades of Corn, I think. Unless God's Mark Ascendant does something special. God's Mark.
Yeah. God's. Yeah, I think you're right.
Or God Mark Descendants.
The Demon Prince?
Never mind.
Okay.
No, it gets the Blades of Corn. Okay, so that works.
Okay.
Basically, whenever the Demon Prince fights, it can chain activate with any mortals in this army, essentially.
Right. I like how even with the delay they were correcting us before we got there. I'm sorry, guys.
My bad.
You just made it in time, but still, congrats. Yeah.
He's got a Mighty Lord of Corn, which has the Collar of Contempt and Firebrand. I think Firebrand is he just starts the game with 1 Blood Tithe, maybe? Oh god, okay. I'm fumbling through this.
Oh, what's it called?
No, it makes him a priest.
Oh, okay.
And then Collar of Contempt gives him an unbind, and then Mighty Lord of Corn. We're stepping through it. You can pick 1 friendly Gore chosen unit to give them strike first for the turn, which is good because I believe The Aspiring Deathbringer can chain activate with the Blood Warriors or Skull Reapers, I believe. So what can happen is the Mighty Lord of Khorne can be giving the Aspiring Deathbringer fight first, which can then be chain activating with one of his mortal units. So he's got a lot of chain activate stuff going on here, which is pretty spicy. The Bloodstoker, I believe, is going to be giving run and charge to at least the Skull Reapers and maybe the other mortal units too. The Blood Warriors, that's a lot of wounds. That's 40 wounds on a 3-up each unit there. So it's 80 wounds on a 3-up in the Blood Warriors. And every time one of them dies, if they're in combat with you, they roll a dice for each wound they have. So, or sorry, I think it's 3 dice per guy, and it's for each 5-up they deal a mortal wound back. Right. So it hurts. And then the Skull Reapers are going to be the real hammer in the list, where I think they're 4 attacks each. They're crit mortal and 2 damage each. So they'll just be absolutely shredding something. So this list kind of just wants to walk up the table and slap you super hard, and it's actually quite thick. And it can be messing with your charges a lot too, just because the nature of Murder Lust is such that you can prevent someone from charging and getting where they actually want to go. So neat.
Very cool. Matt Beasley says, wah, wah. No, I can't believe it's not Iron Jaws, Matt. So that was incorrect. Spin that wheel. So this will be the last one, I think, before we move into Le Name Review. Jesse Lyons, spelled with a Y. Jesse. Another Blades of Corn. Congrats, everyone. Should we, because we just did Blades of Corn, should we just do the list name for this and then do the next one?
Sure. Let's do it. I mean, it's also just Corn Demons. It's Corn Demons. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go. 1910 points, too. Interesting. But yeah. So I guess should we just go into the list names then? Okay, let's do it. Okay, so didn't understand the assignment. Let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Okay, sure. I like it. +1 attack to the Dragon Punch. Got it. DP is the acronym for a Dragon Punch. Sebastian Churn.
Ooh, I'm glad we did it.
Ooh, baby. Dice Lickers Ogre Maw Tribes. And the list name is Ogre Maw Tribes.
Didn't understand the assignment, but the list itself, very simple, but cool. It's Kragnos. Yeah. He's got Gorger Maw Pack. He's got 1 Stonehorn Beast Riders, a Frostlord on Stonehorn, a Huskard on Stonehorn, and another Huskard on Stonehorn. And the Frostlord's got touched by the Everwinter, so he's got triple prayers, which is pretty interesting. And he's going to be 3d6 charging. So if you're not careful, this guy is going to alpha strike you and deal a crap load of damage, because those monsters are going to be at +3 to the trampling charge rolls, which means that they're doing minimum 4 mortal wounds on the charge each. Right. And they're going to be charging 3d6, so they're probably going to be able to get into whatever they want to get into. So
I like
careful. And then Kragnos obviously is Kragnos. You can be shutting off your ward save once per game with the Fang of Gur. The Moppet. Yeah, this is just a hyper aggro list that just wants to crap on you, like in one turn, essentially.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Very good. That was a great one to end it on. Thank you, Sebastian. Cool. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, you didn't understand the assignment. I forgot already. Orcs, Corn, Mortals, and S2D. It's blobs and blobs of 40 wound, 3+ saves. Absolutely. Okay, Michael Sullivan. We're going to bring it up. Okay. So it's Daughters of Cain, and it's just called The Girls.
Mid-bin.
Mid-bin, huh? Yeah, that's true. I was actually going to go lower bin, to be honest. I mean, maybe there's something I'm not getting here, but like, I was hoping for like, girls just want to have fun or something like that. Yeah, we can meet in the middle. That's great. Okay, next one.
I also have no idea how many are left.
I don't know. Yeah, like 30, 40. It's hard to tell. Probably 40. Frank Folem.
And the list name is...
Oh, it's another
Snix.
Daughters of Cain. Okay.
Yeah.
So Snix is like what everyone calls them. Yeah. Lower bin. Yeah. Fair. Okay. Thank you for playing, though. If someone said, like, I don't care if you give me lower bin, just rate the name. Make sure you rate the name. Because I did think about it. That's totally fair, right? Louis Philippe. Is this going to be in French? Cities of Sigmar.
Didn't understand the assignment.
God dang it, LP. Yeah. You should know better. You even watch the show sometimes when we're lucky.
A member of our own club.
A member of our own club. The embarrassment. Whatever. At least we didn't end on that. Love you, LP. Merci. Speak. Oh, no. Ricky Fisher. Whoa.
Good old
Gloom
Dick
Spike.
Fisher.
Yes. Yeah. It's just called Squirrel. What the hell? What the hell is that? Kragnos Dominos, Moon Clan Stabas. Sorry, I just... No, I know, but it's... And then 3 units of Tragas. I don't even get it. But my confusion is actually bumping it up to mid-bin somehow because it's just so weird and random.
I'll give it a mid-bin. I'll agree with that.
Okay. Oh dear.
Mid-bin is about like as far as Ricky's beard gets into the dumpster when he puts his head over.
Yeah. Oh, we got Dan say. Check out, he's running Soulblight Gravelords, and it's just called Dead Elves, and that will you all will understand in the near future much more about that. He's participating in a campaign that we haven't talked about yet, but we will soon. Knowing Dan, I'm going to give it upper crust.
I'll agree with that, but then not knowing, I would actually say
lower bin because it doesn't make sense. Yeah, because you don't understand it, right? Okay. Dan is the guy who's I don't know if it's just him or not, like who owns the channel, but he's the one doing Odd Void, the thing we spoofed at the start. Sem or Kem, I'm not really sure. Ozbay. Oops.
I think it's actually Chem, but I'm not
sure.
sure.
Oh, is it Chem? I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I was introduced to him as well, but it was a little bit loud in Darren's basement, so I didn't quite hear. And I'm sorry.
That's fair.
But I think it's Chem.
That's okay. It's Slaves to Darkness, and it's when everything's a nail. All you bring is a hammer. I like it. It's thematic. I'm going to say mid-bin, personally.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. Okay. I like that everyone, like almost everyone is bringing a list name. Like we've come so far. Corey. Diehards. It's a Bone Splitters list, which automatically makes it interesting. And the list name is Pig Emoji. Considering all these Boar Boys in here, it's not bad. It's so low effort, though. I think that drags it down to Moldy Bits.
Moldy Bits.
Yeah. Okay. You can tell everyone that we're a little random with, but it's just what we're feeling. And what's weird is we're mostly on the same track, Carson and I. If you want to do really well at this, you got to pick out something really stupid. Colton Fitzpatrick. That's not your friend Colton, is it? No. Okay. I didn't think so, but I was like, man, that'd be crazy if.
Yeah. Also, sorry, Colton. I mean, like, he was referring to someone else.
I see. I get it. I'm sorry. Yeah, Colton. Okay. It's Ossiarch Bone Reapers, and it's my Mortark dad got divorced.
It almost sounds like the name of an anime. Like,
yeah.
I could just imagine it in front of like some high schooler.
Yeah. I'm in a dungeon, and my Mortark dad got divorced. And then like it's actually way longer than that, but I didn't have time, to read everything out.
Yep. Upper crust, I think. I kind of like
Upper crust. Yeah, I was trying to decide between mid and upper crust. And as soon as you said it, I agree. Shoot. Oh, dang it. I didn't remove it, so we might get him again. My apologies. We got Alex Leslie.
Some of the Island Boys.
Sylvaneth. Cake or death. Didn't get the assignment. Thanks for playing. Someone let Alex know. Okay, I implore you. Some real brave list choices in that last S2D Slaves to Darkness list. I did not look at it. James Rennick. James. Auric War Clans. Pork Chop. I'm going to go with upper crust. Like,
really?
I know.
Moldy bits.
Well, then let's meet in the middle. Yeah. But we'll just meet in the middle. We meet in the middle.
Sure, mid-bit.
Yeah. If we're going to go with like an official rating. I don't know why. Pork chop. It just struck me funny. What can I say? I'm weak to the pork chops. Damon Delenier.
It is the Dudes of Sigmar.
Oh, nice.
Damon from Dudes.
Nice. Oh, hell yeah. Slaves to Darkness. And the list name is... So for those of you wondering at home, he's not referring to the fish, a cod, caught in the Pacific Ocean, perhaps. He is, in fact, just abbreviating cake or death. So, didn't understand the assignment.
For shame.
And I gotta say, I'm disappointed. Yeah. I expected more. Take that as a compliment, but I expected more. Hayden Laboucan. I'm going to...
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. I always think of Hayden Christensen when I see the name Hayden. Okay, it is Orc War Clans, and it is Dawa is ear, and it's spelled like in proper Orc phonetical spelling. Dawa is ear. It's thematic and it's sort of boisterous and whatever. I'll give it a solid mid-bin, you know?
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, it's showing effort, you know? And it's not corny. Get it? Because of the corn. Never mind. Okay, I'm sorry. It's been a long day, everyone. Thanks to everyone for hanging out still. This is my favorite part, but, you know. Braden Smith. Braden. Oops. Wait, why did it go away? Oh, because I misspelled the first name. I did. It is Corn, and it is Bloodbound 1-2 Punch. I mean, understood the assignment.
A descriptor of what the list is trying to do.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Recycling bin.
Yeah, because we're not sure. Fair. Okay. Hey now, Mason's back.
He's usually got good names.
Yep, Skaven. Yeah, he's actually had some, like, God damn, you piece of crap.
YouTube link.
Is that to this? What is it? Yeah, I'm not going to look at it. So
I'll look at it just to make sure that it's like
appropriate.
Safe.
Okay, yeah. I can trust him now.
I think it's safe. Yeah.
Okay. You think?
It's pretty safe. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Rat is this.
That's kind of awesome. Oh man, took me by surprise. I now get the kinda. God dang it. Oh, you piece of crap. Oh man, that's so hard to rate. Oh man. I'm going to give it an upper bin. It was just it went right in there. It went right in there for me. Yeah.
It's unique. We haven't had a link before it. Or maybe
we haven't had a link. And honestly, don't like, we might, you know, if it's YouTube, we'll someone will probably open it, but maybe not. That was very clever. Yeah, his list names are always very clever. So I'll go upper bin. Yeah.
Kenrick's giving it a 5-0 in the chat.
5-0. I don't blame you.
Too.
I don't blame you. That was very clever. But like the other thing too, though, is that wasn't Mason the one that did the Amber Heard?
Yeah.
Like
always very quality names from Mason.
See, that's the thing. Like, but I was expecting the Amber Heard, right? Like that isn't quite an Amber Heard, is why, So yeah.
That's fair.
Very good though. Very good. Excellent. Okay. I'm getting excited for Sean's. People keep hyping it up in the chat, but I haven't seen it. So, Nick Close. Cities of Sigmar. At least it's painted. I don't even know if this is like self-referential or whatnot, but that's great.
Upper bin.
Upper bin for me. Yeah. I said I was going to be hard, but if you got the sauce, you got the sauce, man. Read the list. Sorry, I clicked off of it.
For those that don't know, Mason's doing Thanquol's Menagerie. So he's going to have Thanquol. No, he doesn't have Thanquol. He's running the triple Master Molder with Storm Vermin, a Brood Terror, and a
you mean Storm Fiends,
Abomination. Right? Storm Fiends, yeah. And a Hell Pit Abomination. So it's a neat list. Very cool.
Very cool.
Actually, I played it recently.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah.
Hillary Brown, our good friend Hillary. He's one of the people I've actually known the longest in this entire community. Almost 9 years now. I'm assuming this is a Terminator reference, but he'll be back. God dang it. I'm going upper bin. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like to have too many, it's taking away from, but
I'll do upper crust.
Upper crust? That's fair. There's nothing in between. Fine. You brought me back down. He dragged me like a crab back down. Got it. We got it in there. A pun. I have no clue what you find people are talking about. We're rating the list names, Sean, and apparently yours is really good.
No, he's saying that he doesn't know what they're talking about in regards to the House of Mouse comment that Alex made, I think he knows exactly what they're talking about.
Okay. Michael Sleeman. There we go. Michael Sleeman. Ogre Maw Tribes. And the list name is Truckin'. Because it's all monster trucks.
It's cute, but I think Moldy Bits.
Moldy Bits. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think you might have even bumped it up a little bit just because it's ogres. Am I right?
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. We all have our little, likes and things we're weak to. Joseph Tsai. Seraphon. Here we go. Oh no. They say he's got to go. What the hell? That's I'm sure that's a song lyric that I'm not aware of. Oh no, they say he's got to go. I don't know. It doesn't have
I don't
Croak.
understand the relationship.
Yeah.
Of like the song lyric. I don't get the connection, but it's
no,
fun.
Me neither. But it is fun. Solid Moldy Bits. Mid bin. What do you think?
Moldy Bits. Mid bin, I guess. Sure. Also, Seb says, that was hard to say. Damn, my list name was supposed to be Big Man Stonehorns to the tune of Big Man Blastoise. I don't know what the song is. That's the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know it either, but I like it.
But it would have been better.
It would have been better for sure. Yeah. For this one, I'm going to say Moldy Bits because I don't get it. But there's something more than it's not a lower bin for sure. Okay. And I could be wrong, but Joseph might have been one of the people who didn't have a list name before. So if that is the case, then hell yeah. Jordan Sadowski. Maggotkin of Nurgle. And the Gasping Blight. So this is very thematic. This seems very narrative. So I'll just give it a... What will I give it? Mid-bin, I guess.
Yeah, mid-bin, I think. It's neat.
Yeah. That's very safe. That's kind of a safe way to go. You know, you can... To get those upper echelons, though, you got to risk it to... to get there. Jared Rushton. Cities of Sigmar. And the list name is Beardpocalypse. I like it.
Because it's got a bunch of hammers in the list. It has 60 hammers in the list. So
okay.
Moldy bits. It's neat.
Yep. Let's do that. Yes. Yeah, I agree. I had to think about it. It was either that or mid-bin for me. I was trying to decide. Renee Francis. Cities of Sigmar. And it is cities, sad steam tank noises, ? Because there are steam tanks in here, I'm guessing.
I wish it didn't have the prefix of cities, and I wish it didn't have the question mark at the end. I think that would have moved it up one for me. But otherwise, I think it's multi-bits.
Multi-bits, yeah, agreed. But I do appreciate the effort. Hell yeah, Renee. Whoa, that one name is super big.
Left?
Like 20?
Okay.
We'll try and move through them. Ryan LHL. Ryan. Oh, there's only one Ryan, so that's good. Or easier. Stormcast Eternals, and it's good list.
Recycling bin?
I think this is a recycling bin, but like I would venture to say that it's probably didn't understand the assignment. So
yeah.
Go. We got Kyle LaRue and Sylvaneth, and it is She and Him, a Sappy Affair. Ooh, that's just dumb enough, right? Just corny
Pretty
enough.
good.
Yeah.
Also, like a L'Oreal Belthanos romantic fanfic.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
man. That is fun. If you wrote like a one-page fanfic, I'm going to say upper. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I like it. I like that you like snuck it in there too. When I was just like upper, Adam Wills. Sons of Behemoth. And it's Sun's Cake List. Didn't understand the assignment.
Didn't understand.
If you're a friend of Adam, let him know. You're a friend of Adam, Sean, let him know. Got to name that list. Colton. Oh, we had this one, right? Okay. I remember because I was like, is that your... Yeah. Okay. Here goes Nerfin. Okay. Let's go. Roma Tor.
The other dude of Sigmar.
The other... Karasai and Neve, they both didn't understand the assignment. That's actually crazy. Yeah.
That's sad.
And I'm taking it as a personal insult.
We're fans of you. You're not fans of us. You don't watch this
Yeah.
shit yet. No,
Yeah.
let's just keep going. We don't have time
Yeah.
for this. We don't have time for this. How dare they?
Taylor Gogion? I'm not sure. Gougion. I'm sorry, Taylor.
Oh, didn't understand.
Okay.
I'll
We
save
won't
us
even
the
go
time.
there. Yep. Thank you. Okay. Chris Lemoy. Oh, darn it. I accidentally...
Didn't understand.
Okay. I will
It's
remove
just
it.
Seraphon Croak Sunclaw. So
Okay.
yeah.
While that's going, I'm actually going to pull up here because I accidentally close that window. So, it is Daryl Martins. Oops. There we go. Am I good to check it out? I had to like.
Yep.
Okay, it's Soulblight Gravelords, and it is good old Woofs.
Because he's got a bunch of dire wolves in the list.
That's what I figured. Woofs. It's cute. Lower bin? I'm going to go moldy bits.
Okay, moldy bits. Okay.
Just because I like dogs, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Not necessarily undead ones. Why John and Jeremy are catching strays from me this eve. What happened? Chris Lemoy, the less handsome. Damn! Yeah. Matt Sleeman. Wait, didn't we do Matt?
No, we did his brother.
Oh, my bad, Matt. Matt Sleeman, Maggotkin, Nurgle. Nurgle, air traffic control. That's solid.
Yeah. Either moldy bits or mid bin. I could be persuaded either way.
Mid bin. I was actually in between the other mid bin and upper crust. So, okay. Let's do it. Man, we're really like going to save Sean for last, it looks like. Curtis. Our buddy Curtis. Flesh Eater Courts, as usual. Lots of ghouls. And the list name is Not Enough Ghouls. This is good. This is a much better if you know him, because he normally takes a crap ton of ghouls and he only has 80 in this list. I think he normally has double. So.
No, he's got 120 in this list.
Oh, does he? Oh, I didn't see the other one. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
I think this
a lot of
makes sense regardless of if you know Chris.
That's true.
Curtis, sorry.
That's true, because there's so many in here. It's like, really, buddy? Yeah.
Mid bin.
Okay. Yeah. You convinced me. I was going to go upper crust. I like it though. I think you're right. Reed Furton. R-E-I-D. Oops. There we go. Cities of Sigmar. And it's Phil over John.
That's an upper bin right there.
Shots freaking fired. What? That is an upper bin. That is an upper bin. Solid upper bin. Oh, man. And like it's like, it was sort of almost like clairvoyant in its, knowing that people were going to just trash John out of nowhere for no reason at all. Something I'm very much in favor of. Justice for Sean. You misspelled his name, though. Or maybe that's what you're referring to. Kenrick. Oh, here we go. Kenrick is an ex-champion. If he gets... I didn't understand the assignment, so help me, Kenrick. So help me. Lord Fart Vast. Okay? God damn it. Okay, it's Stormcast Eternals. Previous list name was Fart Vast Nocturnals. And this one is Gardus? ? More like Fartus.
You stole my joke. That's my joke.
Did he steal it?
Me. I said that to him. So this is going to take up way too much time, and we're going to go over time because of this. But the first time I ever told Kenrick this was the first time he ever came to my place to play a game. Yeah. And it's a distinctive moment in Kenrick and I's friendship when I knew we were friends, because he played Gardus, and then he places him down. He starts explaining him, and I just go, Gardus, more like, and I paused for a minute because I didn't actually have like the next thing, and I was thinking about it, and he just kind of like stops and puts his hand on the table and just makes eye contact with me. And I'm like, oh God, I better think of something. Oh Jesus. And I say, more like Fartus. And he just smiles and goes, he is a Fartus. And then we just keep playing.
That is yeah, that is distinctly. I can hear him saying that. That is very him. Okay, so allowing for the plus points for stealing a joke, I'm gonna go with upper bin.
It's a good joke. It's upper bin. It's easily upper bin.
Okay, easily upper bin. Okay. Did you like how I gave him points for stealing your joke?
No.
You didn't like that, or you didn't?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Conan. It's Conan. Gloomspite gets more like Bloomspite shit. I mean, that went nowhere fast. The list name is Regiments Are for Cowards. And he has 6 auxiliary units. Oh, man.
That's upper bin. Just for
That's
like,
upper
the list
bin.
as a whole.
Just because, yeah, exactly. Like, you know, like at first you're just like, what? And then, yeah, upper bin. Solid upper bin. And it's Spider Fang, so like upper stratosphere, more like it. Love Conan. Friend of the show. Also a TO. Also a 1 with spiders before. So that's cool. Sean Blake. Okay. I'm sorry, Sean. Like, they've been talking about it all night. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit of like overselling it. Like there's a danger of that. I'm not saying they are. I haven't seen it. Dice Lickers. Of course it's Sylvaneth because it's Sean. Holy moly. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Wait, this is the actual thing from episode 1. This is the full-on thing from episode 1. I'm gonna go. Oh man, it's like the plagiarization is just it's chef's kiss.
I like that it feels like he's trying to get the channel shut down. Is what it feels like. It's like we can't read this full name, and if he does really well, then Honest Rob can't read it either. Like,
yeah. It's even better. Upper bin. Even
What's
if it is like a
5-0? Is there?
No, there is. I can't remember if you were here for it or not, but it's 5-1-1 because there's a tie in there.
Wouldn't it be 4-1-1?
Sorry, 5.
Oh no, 4-0-1.
4. Oh no, because it's between 5 and. Oh no, it's between. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
4-0-1. That's
is.
what it was. Yeah. One tie is what effectively. Yeah, 4-0-1. You're right. Keep reading. Read it all. Kenrick, I thought you were on our team, man. Yeah, 4-0-1 for sure. 4-0-1. I like, even if he is trying to get us shut down, that makes me like it more somehow. So I doubt it though. Sean's like the nicest guy in the freaking world. So, and deep. You chose the trade war for the politics. That's true. Actually, Sean, before we move on to Bryce, you need to answer that question. Does it have to do with the tariffs? You have to answer that right now. I mean, right now. Like in the past, you should have already answered it, even though there's like a minute delay while I pick up Bryce's thing. Like we don't do politics on the channel because it's for everyone. LOL, nah, that would, what would I paint to? Awesome. I love the honesty. The honesty alone makes me want to go 5-0, but we'll stick with our original thing because that's like the gut reaction, right? Okay. So it's Fire Slayers, and it's I'd rather wear a diaper than play Be'lakor.
I feel like I'm being called out here. How dare you?
And it also works with the whole naked baby idea behind Fire Slayers. Damn, that's good. Yeah. That's solid.
Yeah. That's a 4-0-1 too, I think.
I think it is. Yeah. And unless you mean 4-0-1 and then 2 of some other metric that I'm not aware of, but
yeah.
Yeah, 4-0-1. Yeah. easily a 4-0 and 1. Like it's like solidly in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4 wins, 1 tie, and 2 quantum super states. Yep.
I like that.
Yeah.
We'll move in. We're using all the dimensions, you know? Yeah. Very good. Very good, Bryce. I could have lent you an entire foot Fireslayer army, Carson. He could have. And still played his Magmadroth list. Jeremy Lemoy. Stormcast Eternals. And
Didn't understand.
damn it, Lemoy. Ugh. Can you guys sense the disgust in my voice? John was here for the very first, like, full-on name list review show, too. So we haven't got to him. Tanner's next. I like the extra McCool on the end there. He hyphenates his mother's maiden name is McCool. Maggotkin of Nurgle. What is it? Oh, no. No. It's so damn appropriate to playing Nurgle, though. I can't list it. I can't actually say it out loud because...
Yes, you can. Sure you
I'm
can.
not saying it out loud. If you want to say it out loud, then you say it out loud.
It's none in the pink, all in the stink.
I like that you put an extra emphasis on it. So even
That's
as
good.
much as I wasn't going to, like, read it out, it's definitely an upper bin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an upper bin. It's very good.
Solid upper bin, right? Yeah. Let's go with that. That's really good, though. That's almost in the 401/50 territory, to be honest. As much as I don't want people
in the chat is saying little Moy's like, they don't really use the internet.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
It's true.
Yeah. Colin Ross. I was like, anyway. So it is Legion of Slaves to Darkness, and it's Big Archie and Co. I'm going to give it moldy bits.
Agreed.
Okay. I like it. It's the kind of list name that I would come up with, you know, like a more lower effort, like, you know what I mean? Like not spending too much time, like a more casual, like, you know, ain't nobody got time for that. Matthew Chaba. And that is another last name that I'm not super familiar with, so I'm apologizing if I wrecked it. It's Slaves to Darkness, and it is horse and not horse. So the Chaos Lord on demonic.
Maybe
Yeah,
recycling.
Lord. Horse and not horse. Yeah, maybe recycling, actually. I'm not sure. There might be more that we don't get, but ain't nobody got time for that. Maybe it's just because Bellicor isn't a horse and Chaos Lord on Demetic Mount is a horse. So, but yeah, it might not be on purpose. Like it's unclear. Recycling bin. Okay. John Zoshak, the one we started this whole thing with. And it better be good, John, because you were here at the beginning. Croak vibrates. Croak vibrates. I mean, he kind of does. Is he referring to the model?
I
Okay.
think he's referring to his he just
Like he just
shakes
kind of
and damage
shakes.
happens every hero
Right.
phase.
Right.
Mid bin?
I think we should hold John to a higher standard.
Moldy bits?
Yeah, moldy bits. Like honestly, like I was thinking about throwing him in the lower bin. Like
Moldy bits.
he's gotta be held up to a higher standard. He's good at this. We know he's good at this. And he was here he was like hard on other people. So I feel nothing, John. Love you, buddy. Andy Selwood. So help me God, Andy, if this is an understanding assignment. Huge friend of the, okay. I don't know that I get it. This is not a prayer because he doesn't have any priests in here. Not a prayer. Not a prayer. Like he doesn't have a prayer? I don't know. I'm not sure. Not a prayer? I think he understood the assignment. I'm going to say, but maybe I don't get it. I'm going to say moldy bits.
Agreed.
Okay. Andy was in the very first battle report ever, and he got me through some of those earlier times of no COVID, like people not wanting to hang out just after COVID. So, Cameron Farrell. Oh, damn. Night Haunt. The Big O for Lady Allender. I don't know. I think that, am I giving him too much credit? That made me laugh. Damn it. Upper Crust?
I like Upper Crust, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's cute. It's funny. It made me laugh. Well, Carson's still in here. There's only 3 people. Logan.
Got a message from Colton. We're like, don't worry, buddy. We can still be friends.
Awesome.
Thanks, Colton.
I love him. I love him already.
This weekend.
Stormcast Eternals, and it is 010 Boys Night Out. What's 010? 010 Boys Night Out. Oh, is that supposed to be like 2 balls and a...
Oh, maybe. Yep.
Yeah, because of the positioning of it. 010 Boys Night Out.
Lower bin.
Yeah, lower bin, I think.
Moldy bits.
Moldy bits. Yeah, like. Yeah. There's some effort there, and there's like a little potential emoji in there, so fair enough. And like, there's a good chance that we didn't get some of these, so yeah. Up. Okay, it did land on you, Carbson. But should we do Alex Stevens first? Because like that way we know we're ending on something. Okay, sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes it ends on a whimper too often. Caradron Overlords. Cloudy with a chance of Thunderers. Okay. There's Sky. Yeah, mid-bin. Mid-bin. Perfect. Okay. And now it's Carbson. Carbleton Wittermaker. Slaves to Darkness, so minus 10 points. Young, dumb, and full of crumbs. Ooh, you son of a bitch. I feel like I have to go to the chat. The chat needs to like give some input. You obviously can't rate your own list, so I need a little feedback. I love if Carson hadn't done a list name. I'd be so annoyed. I would just like kick him out of the call. He'd be fired out of here like a rocket. Oh man. Young, dumb, and full of crumbs. That's good. 1 in 4, says Dale. Oof. Shots fired. Carson's definitely going to forget to invite you next year, buddy. Top of the tops. Bottom of the barrel. Worst list is Bellicor. We're not rating the list, though, Alex. We're just rating the name. Obvious and derivative, an infantile attempt at bottom tier, rude humor, lower tier, and then Kenrick immediately comes in for plus 10 with Bellicor. Or 4 plus 10 with Bellicor. I said it backwards twice in a row, but I'm not going back again. Damn it. You guys are not giving me enough feedback. I'm going to give it upper bin. I think it's definitely upper bin. I was teetering on 4-0 and 1 though. Very, very good.
It's oh yeah. Beasley, the joke is that in Point Break, right? Point Break? There's a quote from one
movie?
of like the FBI agents, where he says like, "You're young, dumb, and full of cum."
God dang it! I didn't think you were actually going to say it.
Yeah, and then crumbs because it's cake or death. Like it's a
Yeah.
cake contest. So I'm going to be full of crumbs, cake crumbs. You know.
Yep.
You know.
It's very
Get it?
good.
It's not my best work.
Oh, I get why Kenrick is so biased now because he loves it. Is a great movie. Point Break is
This one was honestly
Keanu,
for Kenrick.
right?
We watched. Yeah, it's Keanu Reeves. We watched Point Break together in Winnipeg actually at Beefy Crunch's tournament.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, all the Saskatchewan boys were out getting drunk. We were just like having a movie night.
Hell yeah. Kenrick and I talked about doing a movie night, actually. So that sounds awesome. Yeah. I don't know. Upper bin easily, right? 4-0-1?
I think you should keep it
wait.
upper bin just because like you have the bias of me being here.
No, but there's also the fact that it's a reference between but like this is a reference between you and Kenrick, right? But your very first tournament ever was Cake or Death 2 years ago.
First GT.
Versus GT, fine. But you also met Kenrick there. 4-0-1. I'm sorry.
Okay. I also love how Beasley just plainly writes out in all lowercase, "You're very funny." That really makes me think that. Thanks. Thank
Carson
you
is a funny man, and if you need any what's it called? If you need to be have your mind changed about that, what's the word? There's a word for it. Well, I think my brain is melting. Convinced. There we go. If you need to be convinced, watch the last battle report from last Saturday. It's in the live section. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We've gone 10 minutes or 13 minutes over, but that's the magic number because it's Skaven country up in here. Next week, we have the Odd Void takeover of Saga of Dice podcast. Thank you to everyone for hanging out, and congrats again to Pat for sniping the Sasquatch Ludivicus. Anything before we go, Mr. 4-0-1, Mr. Full of
Nope.
crumbs?
Thanks so much for watching.